A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Jerry of the Circus. Now for Jerry of the Circus.
Well, Jerry, looks like this is going to be a wet night.
Going to be. It is. Look at all that mud out in the backyard.
This is the first time it's rained since you've been with the circus, isn't it?
Yeah, and I can't say that I like it much. It's too hard keeping clean. I had to keep wiping the mud off Rag's paws right up to the minute he went into the ring with Frump.
It is kind of messy. But if you'll notice, Jerry, everyone looks pretty clean when they go into the big top to do their act. Stilts and rain capes do the trick all right.
I know what those rain capes are, but what are stilts, Patsy?
Well, the stilts are what we call these funny-looking little shoes.
Oh, I thought they were wooden shoes.
They are, really, like the Japanese wear. We call them stilts because they keep us up high and dry above the mud when we have to walk across the lawn.
Golly, that was close.
Too close. I'm afraid this is going to turn into a bad storm. It's a good thing the show's almost over.
It sure is raining hard now. The backyard will be a lake if this keeps up.
Oh, say, what a night.
Well, Rags, how is it you didn't get your paws all muddy this time? Did you wear stilts, too?
I guess Bumps was his stilts. How about it, Bumps?
I carried my partner over from the wagon. He couldn't have walked across that mud. He'd have had to swim.
Gee, thanks, Bumps.
Oh, not at all. I'm just as interested in that dog as you are, Jerry. Well, he's my partner, and I have to keep him looking nice, you know.
Oh, are you afraid, Patsy?
Well, I guess I'm not afraid, but I really don't like that lightning. I think I'll run for it. I'm going to get my things packed and hurry over to the train.
Yeah, might just as well. This rain doesn't show any signs of letting up.
Well, here I go. See you on the train.
Goodbye, Patsy. Rags, come here. You can't go out in all that mud. You stay right here now. You have to go on for the last walk around with Bumps in a few minutes.
I guess he'd kind of like to follow Patsy and see if she gets over to her wagon safe, eh?
Oh, so that's it, huh?
Well, it's a good thing we're pulling out of here tonight. That grounds will be pretty wet for a show tomorrow. I don't envy the men who load this circus tonight.
Maybe it'll be raining in the next town, too.
Well, that's a chance we take, Jerry.
Why doesn't Mr. Randall cut the show short and get loaded on the trains now before the storm gets worse?
Well, that's something that's never done, Jerry. The people in there paid their money to see the complete show, and that's what they'll get if they want to stay and watch it.
They'll sure get caught in the rain when they get out. And wait until they see all that mud around the line.
Oh, they'll see it all right, Jerry, but they won't get into it. That's another thing Mr. Randall always takes care of.
What do you mean, Bumps?
Well, ever since the rain started and it looked like a bad storm, the stakers have been laying boards from the main entrance to the cement sidewalk. Well, there'll be a regular wooden sidewalk for the folks to walk on when the show's over.
Golly, Mr. Randall thinks of everything, doesn't he?
Yeah, pretty near. He does everything he can to make his customers comfortable. Oh, there goes the finale. Here, come on, Rags. Let's get your red ribbon on.
Sure is anxious to work, isn't he, Bumps?
You bet he is. He's a real trooper. There you are, Rags. Yeah, now that's the boy. You wait right here in the pad room, Jerry. As soon as I come off, you can carry Rags, and I'll gather up my props, and we'll both make a run for our wagon.
Okay, Bumps. Now do a good show tonight, Rags. Look, Bumps. The centerfold. The lightning struck it.
Yes, sir. Right up at the top, and it's hanging there all right. See, it's a good thing Patsy finished her act before this happened. Hey, just look at that trapeze of hers hanging by one rope.
Gee, Bumps, the audience is getting scared.
Yeah, but don't you get frightened now. We'll get them calm. Come on, Rags. Stay right where you are, Jerry.
Ladies and gentlemen, all right, everybody, quiet, please. Please resume your seats. There's no cause for alarm. The tent is securely held up by the other poles. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we will have the grand finale march, after which you may all leave in absolute safety.
You see that, Jerry? That ringmaster sure knows his business.
Golly, sure got him quiet in a hurry.
Yeah, we'll have him laughing in a hurry, too. Come on, Rags.
Gee, circus life is sure wonderful. Come on, Rags. Here's Clara's tent. Here, boy. Hello, Clara.
Well, Jerry, hello. And Rags. Just a minute, Jerry. There we are.
Nice day, isn't it? Certainly better than you'd expect after last night in that other town.
My goodness, I'll say it is, and mighty welcome. Guess nobody around a circus lot likes a rainstorm like we had.
It sure makes a lot of extra work, doesn't it?
Mercy me, it sure does. I've been pressing costumes ever since breakfast. Seems like everybody got wet.
Oh, say, Clara, I wanted to ask you something. I want to tell you about my plan.
What is it, Jerry?
Well, I got an idea, and I think it'll work. I'm pretty sure we can catch a thief that's been stealing your things.
Fine, Jerry. Tell me about it.
Well, I'm going to ask Jack Hastings, a publicity man, to fix up a camera by your workbench here, so it'll take a picture of whoever's doing the stealing.
That's a good idea, Jerry, but I don't think it'll work.
Why not?
Because the things have been disappearing at night, and you can't take pictures in the dark at night.
Oh, sure you can. You just fix up a flashlight bulb with the camera and set a sort of trap with a string that'll set off the flash bulb with the camera.
Well, land sakes, that is clever. Then when we get the pictures, we'll know exactly who the guilty one is.
Uh-huh. And we can take the picture to Mr. Randall, and then he can catch whoever it is.
You're a real detective, Jerry. That's a very good idea.
Clara, look, here comes Major Mike.
Wonder what he wants.
Well, I'm going now and see if I can get Jack Hastings to help me out with my idea. See you later. Goodbye. Come on, Rags.
Goodbye, Jerry.
Don't bark at the Major, Rags. Stop it.
Go on about your business, dog. Go on, get.
Hello, Major Mike.
Never mind getting friendly, Clara. Here's my satin coat. I want you to press it. And I want it before the matinee.
Well, now, wait a minute, Major. I'm not so sure I can get it done for you by matinee time.
Oh, it only takes a couple of minutes to press that coat, and you know it.
Yes, that's right. But there are others ahead of you. I've a lot of costumes to get ready before the matinee performance.
My costume is just as important as anybody else's. Ever since I've been with this outfit, you've been picking on me. First, you sewed up the armholes in my coat. Then last month, you sewed up the buttonholes and caused me no end of embarrassment.
I've told you 100 times I didn't do that. I don't go around thinking of ways to make people angry. You got me wrong, Major.
Oh, no, I haven't got you wrong.
I'm not the only one who can sew on this lot. Why don't you ask your friend, the bearded lady, if she knows who sewed up the buttonholes on your coat?
She's not my friend. Don't you dare call her my friend. If she doesn't leave this circus at the end of the season, I will. I'll tell you, I'll never do another season with her.
That's what you said last year.
Well, I mean it this time.
She kind of likes you, Major.
I don't care if she does. I don't like her. I never did and never will. I'll take no more kidding about it from you or anybody else.
Now, Major.
There's my coat. Are you going to have it ready for me before the show, or aren't you?
I'll try to get it finished, but I can't promise.
Oh, you'll try, huh? You mean you'll try to make me miserable and keep slighting me just because I'm little? Well, I'll try and make you just as miserable. You'll pay for the way you've been treating me. You just watch and see. And I'll be back for that coat before the midway opens, and it better be ready. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Major. Heavenly days. He may be small, but he's sure got a big temper, all right.
Here we are, Jack.
Okay, Jerry, go ahead.
Well, Jerry, you back again? And Jack Hastings,
Well, come in, come in.
The boy detective here has an idea he wants to work out.
I told Clara all about it already.
You mean about putting a camera up here in my tent and taking a picture of the robber?
Yeah, what do you think of it, Clara?
I think it's a good idea. An excellent idea, I might say.
And it'll work, too. Won't it, Jack?
Yeah, it'll work all right. The police have used that method and found it quite successful. The only hitch is when the flash bulb goes off, it gives the whole thing away. The ones who just had their pictures taken might look for the camera and take it with them.
That wouldn't be so good for the owner of the camera, would it?
No, it wouldn't. That's why I'm going to use this old one.
Then you're really going to set it up like Jerry suggested?
Sure we are. What can we lose?
It'll catch the thief, all right. And then your troubles will be all over, Clara.
Well, I hope so.
I'm going to have to set it up now if you don't mind, Clara.
Goodness me, I don't mind. As long as it doesn't go off and take my picture.
It won't. Jack's just going to fix it now, but he won't connect the wires until tonight.
Hand me that box there, Jerry.
Okay. Here you are.
All right. Jerry tells me that you've been having a lot of robberies lately, Clara. What seems to be the trouble?
I don't understand it, Jack. The things that are being stolen aren't of any real value to anybody else except my gold thimble. Just a lot of things that, well, things a child would want, or maybe a little girl that was going to make doll dresses.
Tinsel and braid and things like that.
Yes.
Here now, Jerry, pull this wire up there. That's it. How about setting the camera between these bolts of cloth, Clara? Won't be in your way there, will it?
Land sakes, no. I won't get at those today. I've got too much pressing and repairing to do.
That ought to take a good picture, huh?
It's just about the right angle. From there, the camera will take in pretty near the whole tent. I'm sorry I have to do this now, Clara, but I've got to take a lot of pictures in the menagerie this afternoon and won't have time to do this later on.
That's perfectly all right. I don't mind now that I know I won't set the blame thing off.
What's the matter? Don't you like to have your picture taken?
Well, I don't take a very good picture, Jerry.
Oh, I don't know about that, Clara. I've taken some nice ones of you.
Yes, but that was a few years ago. And time does change a person, you know.
Flash bulb, Jerry. That's it. I don't guess you've changed much, Clara. You're just as nice now as you were when I joined up with Mr. Randall.
Now, go on with your Jack Hastings. You quit your joshing.
I'm not joshing, Clara. It's true.
That's right. You told me on the way over here that you were one of the nicest persons with the circus.
Well, now, sakes alive.
Let's see now. I think that's it, Jerry. It should work perfect.
How's it fixed?
I've got 6 small bell pushers hidden in the sawdust. Even if a person knew where they were, they'd have a hard time not stepping on one of them.
Which one sets off the camera?
I've got them all hooked up to both the camera and the flash bulb. Just the slightest step on any of them will set the flash and the camera off at the same time.
And then we'll have a picture of the thief.
We hope so.
Well, won't we?
I guess we will if the thief comes around here tonight.
And he doesn't run off with the camera.
That's right.
I sure hope this works out okay. Thanks a lot, Jack.
That's all right, Jerry. Well, goodbye, Clara. Let's hope we have good luck tonight.
Goodbye, Jack.
So long. See you later.
Jack's pretty nice to help you like this, Jerry.
He sure is. Well, I got to get back over to the horse tent now and help Whitey some more. Come on, Rags. Rags! Now, where are you, Rags?
Here, Jerry. Here he is on this pile of scraps of cloth.
And sound asleep, too. Rags, come on, sleepyhead. We've got to go. Goodbye, Clara.
Goodbye, Jerry.
We'll let you know who the thief is tomorrow.
Hollywood, California, and an allied base in Australia, Autolite brings you Everything for the Boys, the Command Theater of the Air, starring Mr. Ronald Colman, and his guest for tonight, Miss Maureen O'Sullivan. Everything for the Boys is presented by the Electric Autolite Company and its 22 great manufacturing plants. Builders of precision equipment for 35 years. World famous for Autolite spark plugs, batteries, wire, cable, and electrical systems for automotive, aviation, and marine use. Now here's your host, Ronald Colman.
Thank you and good evening. Tonight our guest is the lovely Maureen O'Sullivan. Together with Agnes Moorhead, we present J.M. Barrie's delightful comedy of manners, Quality Street. Later, we shall have a shortwave visit with 2 American soldiers stationed in Australia. To them, and to all the fighting men and women of the United Nations, we dedicate this global half hour.
Probably you've never heard of Milton Rowland of Addison, Ohio. Never saw his name or picture in the papers. Never heard him mentioned on the radio before now. We know him because he is a hero and because he used to work at the Autolite plant in Cincinnati making shell cases for the Army. A good, clean kid of 18 doing a good job. But Milt, as we used to call him, wanted to do more to speed victory, do more than make shell cases. So he enlisted with the Army Engineers and soon became a part of General Clark's army in Italy. Then a few weeks ago, the news came. We regret to inform you, awarded the Purple Heart posthumously. But we know Milton Rowland's spirit is with us, urging us to double and redouble our efforts, urging his father, who has taken his place at the plant. Keep it up, Dad. The other boys need that equipment. Milton Rowland has inspired everyone in the Autolite Cincinnati plant. And to us, he will be forever a part of the men and women who make up Autolite.
Just for half an hour, shall we journey back into a bygone age? An age of airs and graces, when gay uniforms and fair ladies intermingled in the bravery of the dance. Of course, the minuet had not been supplanted by swing, nor the spinet by the saxophone. And as we peep into the little blue and white room of Susan and Phoebe Throstle in Quality Street, we observe its peaceful calm has not yet been ruffled by the arrival of the dashing Valentine Brown. Oh, it is true that through the low bay window we catch a glimpse of the recruiting sergeant to remind us we are in the period of the Napoleonic Wars, and the gallant and strong are marching off to fight the Corsican ogre.
Are they not splendid in their red coats? Off to the wars. Wave to them, Susan. Now, Sister Phoebe, what is it you have to tell me?
Susan, as I was walking home today, he was passing.
Oh, you mean Mr. Valentine Brown?
He offered me his escort. You know how dashing he is.
Oh, yes, indeed.
He said, I have something I'm wishful to tell you, Miss Phoebe. Perhaps you can guess what it is.
Oh, go on.
To say I could guess, sister, would have been unladylike, so I said, please not to tell me in a public thoroughfare. To which he instantly replied, then I shall call and tell you this afternoon.
Phoebe, such a genteel competency as he can offer.
Oh, I had no thought of that, dear. I was recalling our first meeting at the quadrille party. Miss Phoebe of the Ringlets, he called me. Oh, he was so amusing from the first. I'm thankful, Susan, that I, too, have a sense of humor. I'm exceedingly funny at times. Am I not, Susan?
Oh, yes, indeed. But he sees humor in the most unexpected things. I say something so ordinary, and I know not why he laughs, but it makes me feel quite witty. Now I'm to be left alone.
Susan, you must make my house your home. For I have something distressing to tell you.
You allow me.
You know Mr. Brown advised us how to invest half of our money.
I know it gives us 8%.
Oh. Susan, all that money is lost.
Lost?
Something burst, dear, and then they absconded.
But Mr. Brown?
Oh, I've not advised him of it yet, for he will think it was his fault. But I shall tell him today.
But Mr. Brown...
Oh, he is a man of means. And if he is not proud to have my Susan in our house with us, I shall say at once,
Mr. Brown, the door. My dear sister.
Susan, dear.
Phoebe, I have a wedding gift for you.
Already?
It has been ready for a long time. I began it when you were not 10 years old and I was a young woman.
Oh.
I meant it for myself, Phoebe.
Susan, what was it?
It was a wedding gown, my dear.
Oh.
So long ago, Phoebe. He was very tall with brown hair. Oh, it was most foolish of me. But the wedding gown was never used.
Oh, Susan, I could not wear it.
My dear, the tears it was sown with long ago will all turn into smiles on my Phoebe's wedding day.
Miss Susan, how do you do, ma'am?
Sir.
Nay, Miss Phoebe, though we have met today already, I insist on shaking hands with you again.
Always so dashing.
Am I dashing, Miss Phoebe?
A little, I think.
Well, I have something to tell you today, which I really think is rather dashing.
I think I'd better leave you two alone now.
Oh, you're not going, ma'am, before you know what it is.
Indeed, to be sure, I know, Mr. Brown. Susan. I mean, I do not know. I mean, I can guess. Phoebe, my love, explain.
Well, the explanation being, I suppose, that you both know. And I had flattered myself for such a secret. Am I then to understand that you had foreseen it all, Miss Phoebe?
Oh, no, sir. You must not ask that.
I believe in any case it was you who first put it into my head.
Oh, I hope not.
Yes, your demure eyes flashed every time the war was mentioned. The little Quaker suddenly looked like a gallant boy in ringlets.
Mr. Brown, what is it you have to tell us?
That I have enlisted, Miss Phoebe.
Oh.
Did you surmise it was something else?
You are going to the wars.
To fight Napoleon.
Mr. Brown, is it a jest?
Ah, these stirring times, Miss Phoebe. He is but half a man who stays at home. I want to see whether I have any courage. And as to be an army surgeon does not appeal to me. It was enlist or remain behind.
I think you have done bravely.
You leave shortly for barracks, and I go to London tomorrow. So this is goodbye. Goodbye to dear Quality Street that thought me dashing. But I made friends in it, Miss Phoebe, of two very sweet ladies.
I sometimes feared that I was perhaps too dashing.
Ah, Miss Phoebe, you have been to me like a quiet, old-fashioned garden full of the flowers that Englishmen love best because they have known them the longest. The daisy that stands for innocence, and the hyacinth for constancy, and the modest violet and the rose. When I am far away, ma'am, I shall often think of Miss Phoebe's pretty soul, which is her garden, and shut my eyes and walk in it.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Have you... Is it... Oh, you seem so calm, Phoebe.
Susan, it is not what we expected, not at all. My dear, Mr. Brown has enlisted.
Oh.
He came to tell us that and to say goodbye.
Going away?
Yes.
Yes, am I not the ideal recruit, ma'am? A man without a wife or a mother or a sweetheart.
No sweetheart?
Well, have you one for me, Miss Susan?
We shall have to tell him now. Oh, you dreadful man. You will laugh and say it is just like Quality Street. But indeed, since I met you today, and you told me you had something to communicate, we have been puzzling what it could be, and we concluded that you were going to be married.
That is.
Oh, so like women, you know. We thought we perhaps knew her. We were even discussing what we should wear at the wedding.
Oh, I shall often think of this. I wonder who would have me, Miss Susan.
Oh.
But I must be off. And God bless you both.
Oh, you are going.
I shall miss you very much, Mr. Brown.
There is one little matter. That investment I advised you to make. I am happy that it turned out so well.
But, Mr. Brown...
It was good of you to take all that trouble, sir. Accept our grateful thanks.
Oh, indeed, I am glad that you are so comfortably left. This little blue and white room and its dear inmates, may they be unchanged when I come back. Goodbye.
A misunderstanding. Just a mistake.
The money. Why did you not let me tell him that, at least?
So that he might offer to me out of pity, Susan.
Phoebe, how are we to live with a quarter and loaf at 1 10
Susan, I think we should keep a little school.
You, schoolmistress? Phoebe of the ringlets.
I shall hide the ringlets away in a cap like yours, Susan.
There were other gentlemen who were attracted by you, Phoebe. They will come again, and others.
Don't never speak to me of that anymore. Once, only a few days ago, I let him kiss me.
Well. Oh, well, you could not prevent him.
It was raining. My face was wet. He said that's why he kissed me. Sister, I could bear all the rest, but I've been unladylike. My dear Captain Brown, this is the 490th letter that you will never receive. But I must write, because only in writing to you can I speak my heart. The 10th year, and school is still going badly. Susan does not really understand children. As for me, every one of these 10 years you have been away, I have missed you very much, Captain Brown. Missed you very much. So easy to write, knowing that you will never see the words. But if you were here...
Phoebe, he's back. Captain Brown.
No.
I saw him coming up the steps, home after 10 years. Phoebe, what is the matter with you? Have you forgotten Captain Brown?
It's been very long. We shall be glad to welcome our old friend back, Susan.
Miss Susan, there you are. And where is my Phoebe of the curly hair?
I am here, Captain Brown.
Miss Phoebe, is it you?
Yes. I suppose I've changed very much.
Oh, no,
I've not borne well, Captain Brown.
Oh, we are both older, Miss Phoebe.
Tell me of yourself. We're so proud of the way in which you won your commission.
Thank you.
Will you leave the army now?
Yes, and I have some intention of pursuing again the old life in Policy Street.
Oh.
Yes. You know, I came here in such high spirits, Miss Phoebe.
The change in me depresses you.
Oh, no. I was in hopes that you and Miss Susan would be going to the Victory Ball. I had brought cards for you with me to make sure.
Now you see my dancing days are done.
No, you...
But you will find many charming partners. Some of them have been my pupils.
Oh, please, will you not come yourself?
Oh, no, I cannot. I wish you very happy at the ball, Captain Brown.
Thank you, Miss Phoebe. Good day.
Good day, Captain.
Phoebe, I heard. Oh, you must go to the ball.
Susan, I've lost all my luck.
No, Phoebe, no.
You thought I was old because I'm weary, because I've had to work so hard. Is it a crime when a woman works hard? Oh, look at me, sister. Miss Phoebe was like a garden once. But 'tis a faded garden now.
If to be ladylike.
Oh, I'm tired of being ladylike. I'm a young woman still. I wish to be bright and thoughtless and merry. It's every woman's birthright to be petted and admired. I wish to be petted and admired. 10 years ago, I went to bed a young girl. And I woke with this cap on my head.
Oh, Phoebe.
It's not fair.
Phoebe, you who have always been so patient.
Oh, no, not always. Susan, I have a picture of myself as I used to be. Sometimes I look at it and say, poor girl, they have all forgotten you. But I remember.
I cannot recall such a picture.
I keep it locked away in my room. Oh, Susan, it is there that the Phoebe you think so patient has the hardest fight with herself. I've heard her weeping and crying. Let me out of this prison. Give me back the years you have taken from me. Where are my pretty curls, she cried. Where is my youth? My youth.
Oh, Phoebe, dear, dear sister, I cannot believe that you've actually come to the ball.
I am here.
You almost frightened me. You look so young, so pretty.
Oh, Susan, I do not know myself how it happened. I was so unhappy, and suddenly I put on the old gown again and tumbled my curls out of the cap. One dance, Susan, to Phoebe of the ringlets, and I will put her away in her box and never look at her again.
I beg your pardon. May I... Why, it's Miss Susan.
Captain Brown.
And for a moment, I thought the lovely lady with you was Miss Phoebe.
I am Miss Phoebe's niece, sir.
Oh.
Me? Aunt Susan. Do not be angry with your Livy. Your niece, Livy, Aunt Susan. Oh.
I shall see to it, Miss Susan, that your niece has a charming beau.
He means you will find me sweet partners.
Nay, ma'am. I mean, I shall be your partner.
No, Phoebe, you can't.
But Aunt Phoebe would want me to. And if I say she does, you know she does.
But my dear.
Oh,
my
Aunt
dear.
Susan, why do you talk so much? One dance with the gallant Captain Brown, and then I will go back to dear Aunt Phoebe.
Livy? I did not know that Miss Susan had a niece. And wasn't it that dashing Captain Brown that brought her here? Then why does she dance with Everman, not with him? Why, yes, she's my long-lost niece Olivia, come to take the place of my sister Phoebe, who I regret to say is now lying down at home with the headache.
By Jove, that's a lovely girl. Livy, you say? Miss Susan's niece? Yes, she does look like Miss Phoebe, but much prettier. You might say beautiful. And isn't it amusing the way she's dangling the dashing Captain Brown at the end of her string? Oh, I say.
Oh, really, Captain Brown, you're the most vigorous man. First, almost against my will, I find myself dancing with you when the dance really belongs to Ensign Blaze. And then I find myself here in the garden.
You're an amazingly pretty girl, ma'am. But you're a shocking flirt.
La.
It has somewhat diverted me this evening to watch the men swarming around you. But really, in the interests of the man to whom you will be eventually affianced...
Affianced?
Yes, someday, Miss Livy, the right man will come.
Oh.
Now, how could you acquaint him with this poor sport of your light flirtation?
I see.
Believe me, Miss Livy, it is not the flaunting flower men love. Now, how could you acquaint him with this poor sport of your light flirtation?
I see.
Believe me, Miss Livy, it is not the flaunting flower men love. It is the modest violet.
You dare to say that?
Yes, indeed. And when you know what love really is...
Love. What do you know of love?
Why, ma'am, I know all about it. I am in love, Miss Livy.
Oh, I wish you happy.
With a lady who was once very like you, ma'am.
Oh.
It is your Aunt Phoebe whom I love.
Oh. May I solicit, sir? For how long have you been attached to Miss Phoebe?
I want to be honest. Never in all that time had I thought myself in love. Your aunts were my dear friends, and while I was at the wars, we sometimes wrote to each other, but they were only friendly letters. I presume the affection was too placid to be loved.
I think that would be Aunt Phoebe's opinion.
Yet I remember, before we went into action for the first time, I suppose the fear of death was on me. Some of them were making their wills. I have no near relatives. I left everything to these two ladies.
Did you?
And when I returned a week ago and saw Miss Phoebe, grown so tired-looking and so poor, it filled me with a sudden, passionate regret that I had not gone down in that first engagement. They would have been very comfortably left.
That was sweet and kind, but it was not love.
It is love now.
No, it is only pity.
It is love.
You really mean Phoebe? Tired, unattractive Phoebe?
I mean Phoebe of the fascinating, playful ways whose ringlets were once as pretty as yours, ma'am.
Memory. Yes, that is the Phoebe you love. The bright girl of the past. Not the schoolmistress in her old maid's cap.
Ah, there you wrong me. For I have discovered for myself that the schoolmistress in her old maid's cap is the noblest Miss Phoebe of them all. Miss Livy, do you think there is any hope for me?
There was a man whom Miss Phoebe loved long ago. He did not love her.
Oh, now here was a fool.
He kissed her once.
But that man was a knave.
No, he was a good man. Only a little inconsiderate. She knows now that he has even forgotten he did it. I suppose men are like that?
Oh, no, Miss Livy, men are not like that. I am a very average man, but I thank God I am not like that.
It was you.
Did Miss Phoebe say that?
Yes. The face you loved, Captain Brown. You were the first to give it pain. The tired eyes. How much less tired they might be if they had never known you.
Oh, but I must speak with her, Miss Livy, with your help.
My help? I have not helped. I have tried to spoil it all.
By flirting with me? Oh, no. Now that I know Miss Phoebe loves me, I understand. Your flirtations have but made me the more complacent. That never in her life had Miss Phoebe been guilty of the slightest deviation from the strictest propriety. All this evening, I have been watching you, Miss Livy, and seeing in my mind her and the pretty things she did and you did not do. Why, ma'am, that is how I fell in love with Miss Phoebe here at the ball.
I hate her and despise her.
Miss Livy.
Oh, if you knew what she is. That paragon who has never been guilty of the slightest deviation from the strictest propriety.
Miss Livy, for shame. I devoutly hope these are the last words I shall ever address to you. Goodbye.
Livy, I mean Phoebe. Oh, sister, you had me so confused. I do not know what name to address you by. Where is Captain Brown? What did he say to you? Phoebe, answer me.
Oh, sister, he said it to me.
Said what? Oh, sister, speak. What terrible thing has he said to you?
Not terrible. Glorious.
Oh.
Susan, 'tis Phoebe he loves. 'Tis me, not Livy.
Oh.
He loves me. He loves me. Me, Phoebe.
Oh, dear sister.
Oh, but this character of Livy that I've taken, how can I get rid of her?
I can send her away.
Oh, then I would have to go away. Oh, what shall I do?
Oh, it is all like algebra, taking something away from something and still leaving something. Oh, la, my poor head could never understand it.
So now, I must go back to teaching school again. Yes, that's it, sister. All my energies must be put into the school. Oh, Susan, write the announcement. The Mrs. Trossel have the pleasure to announce new courses in their school. Embroidery, algebra.
I refuse to write algebra. There is only one thing I can write. It writes itself in my head all day. Miss Susan Trossel presents her compliments and requests the honor of your presence at the nuptials of her sister Phoebe and Captain Valentine Brown.
Oh, that is not possible. After this night's disposition, that is not possible.
Why is it not possible, Miss Phoebe?
Captain Brown.
Oh, forgive me, but I must tell you this. Miss Livy will never trouble you anymore. I have sent her home.
Sent her home? But how could you?
Miss Susan, I know all.
Oh, sister, he knows all.
Oh.
I know also that while men go away to fight great battles, women are left to fight small ones, loneliness and poverty. I dare ask your love no more, Miss Phoebe, but I still ask you to put yourself into my keeping.
Oh, please,
Miss Phoebe, if not for your own sake, then in memory of the thoughtless recruit who went off laughing to the wall.
I beg you, no more.
Miss Phoebe, I warn you, you'll see me turn into a grumpy, crusty, buckle-nosed old bachelor.
Mr. Brown, but of course you must marry somebody.
Then, by gad, Miss Phoebe, I shall have to carry you in my arms to the church.
Mr. Brown, but of course you must marry somebody.
Then, by gad, Miss Phoebe, I shall have to carry you in my arms to the church.
Sir, how could you?
Dear Phoebe Trossel, will you be Phoebe Brown?
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, the dictates of my heart enjoin me to accept your too flattering offer.
Oh, Phoebe, your face is wet. May I kiss you?
Oh, it's so dashing.
You have heard Ronald Colman and Miss Maureen O'Sullivan in an adaptation of J.M. Barrie's Quality Street with Agnes Moorehead. The music was written and conducted by Gordon Jenkins. Our stars will return in a moment to speak by short wave with 2 American soldiers at their base in Australia. But first, a word for you on the home front. The less you drive your car, the more attention the battery needs. And if you're driving weekends only, you've probably noticed this when you try to start your car. The battery seems to have lost its oomph. This is quite possible because your car must be driven in order to keep the battery up to full strength. That's why the battery should receive attention every month. Drive into your nearest Autolite service station, your local car dealer, or any reliable serviceman. They'll be glad to check the liquid level and test the battery's state of charge. Recharge it when necessary. Believe me, this regular checkup will help keep your battery up to par. And when you need a new battery, install a new Autolite battery. Autolite batteries are designed and built by people who know how to make long-lasting, power-packed batteries that are world-famous for dependability and performance. Remember, the name Autolite means precision manufacturing.
And now, Maureen, for our trip to the Antipodes.
You mean a shortwave visit down under, Ronnie?
Exactly. We'll have a chat with 2 American fighting men stationed in Australia. And incidentally, they're talented boys. Sergeant Patricelli is a playwright, and Corporal St. George is author of the best-selling GI book, Care of Postmaster.
Mr. Coleman, the circuit is being cleared to Australia.
All right, Maureen, put on this earphone, and we'll spin the globe with a couple of kangaroo leaps. Ready?
All set to leap.
Well, then here we go. This is Maureen O'Sullivan and Ronald Coleman calling Australia. Hollywood calling. Come in, fellows.
Okay, Hollywood. Corporal Thomas Richard St. George speaking, but just call me Ozzy.
Hello there, Ozzy.
And this is Sergeant Anthony Patricelli. Please make it Tony.
Greetings, Tony. This is Maureen O'Sullivan, so just call me, whatever you want.
I'll call you Beautiful.
And you're cute, too. I saw your picture on the jacket of your book.
Fellows, a bit of news from home. Ozzy, we called your family in Simpson, Minnesota.
And from the new popular song of the same name, it's Love, Love, Love.
Swell. Mom and Dad, all my love to you. And hello to Phoebe.
You dedicated your book to Phoebe, didn't you?
Yes, I did, Maureen.
Well, the Phoebe I just played in Quality Street is dedicated to you.
Next to my sergeant, I love you best, Mrs.
Ozzy, after 8 months, your book is still among the bestsellers.
Yeah, everybody reads anything these days. So I'm writing a new one.
Yeah. What's the new book about?
Well, I hope I won't have to live down another book, so I'm writing about New Guinea, where the natives can't read.
Ozzy, weren't you a writer before you went into the army?
In a way, I was on a newspaper. But it really started when I was ghostwriting for other students in school.
Ghostwriting in school?
Yeah, I got expelled for that. So I dropped the ghost and became a live writer.
And now you're a correspondent on the army paper, Yank. What are your plans after the war?
Oh, heck, I guess I'm in a rut. I'll just keep on writing.
Well, Ozzy, we'll all be looking forward to your new book.
Tony Patricelli, you're a writer, too?
Well, I used to write for radio in the States. I just sent a book to the publishers.
You're a member of General MacArthur's Public Relations Office, aren't you?
Yes, sir. I handle that is sort of nurse-along war correspondence in one language or another.
Uh-huh. Well, we understand you arrived in Australia December 1941 with the Flying Tigers.
Yes, sir. I guess I was one of the first Yanks to get here.
Australia must seem like home to you now, Tony.
It certainly does. I've been here a pretty long stretch. Besides, I married Sylvia down here, so I'm practically a native.
Tony, your mother is now living in Waterbury, Connecticut. She sends her love.
Say, Mr. Coleman, is Mom listening in?
Yes, she is, and the whole family.
Oh, then I'd like to ask you a favor. Sylvia's right here. Could I introduce Mom to my wife?
Introduce your mother to your wife? Splendid. The air is all yours, Tony.
Thanks a lot. Well, Mom, Sylvia is very beautiful, and she's a blonde, and she's an artist. Anyway, Mom, here's Sylvia.
Hello, Mother. It's wonderful to say hello and know you're listening. I hope we'll be able to get together soon.
Tell Mom about the new Patricelli.
Yes, Mother. Susan, our daughter, she's just a month old now, and she looks like your Tiny.
Oh, don't believe a word of it, Mom. She's just the image of Sylvia.
Tiny's on model car.
I don't know. Susan doesn't say much yet, but she has a very intelligent expression on her face.
Just like Tiny.
And she's beautiful like Sylvia. Say, Mr. Coleman, I hope we haven't taken up too much time.
Oh, not at all. Susan sounds superb. We wish we had more time for this global family reunion.
We're sure your mother is happy to hear from both of you.
Time's up, Mr. Coleman.
Well, men, that's all for now.
And it's meant a lot to us, Mr. Coleman. Thank you.
Yes, sir. It's been great to say hello to the state. So long, and thanks, folks.
Good night, men, and good luck.
Good night, boys. God bless you.
The invasion is going to be a costly operation in machines, and more important, in men. The Army and Navy needs nurses as they never have needed them before. We appeal to all nurses to think of the probable cost in lives. The great majority of these may be saved if skilled nurses are available. Nurses, think of these men and register at your Red Cross chapter at the earliest possible moment.
Next week, Autolite cordially invites you to another program of Everything for the Boys, your new global half hour uniting the home front and the battlefronts overseas. Your host, Ronald Coleman, will have as his guest Miss Dinah Shore in an original radio play by Arch Oboler suggested by Earl Robinson's stirring song, The House I Live In, dedicated to a pair of fighting Yanks who will speak by shortwave from their base in England.
Our thanks to Maureen O'Sullivan. Until next week, when Dinah Shore will be our guest, this is Ronald Coleman saying good night to you and the boys, and God be with you.
Everything for the Boys is shortwaved all over the world. This is Frank Martin saying good night for Autolite.
Now, stay tuned for the program that is rated tops in popularity for a longer period of time than any other West Coast program in radio history. The Signal Oil program, The Whistler. Signal, the famous Go Farther gasoline, invites you to sit back and enjoy another strange story by The Whistler.
I am the Whistler, and I know many things, for I walk by night. I know many strange tales hidden in the hearts of men and women who have stepped into the shadows. Yes, I know the nameless terrors of which they dare not speak.
And now for the Signal Oil Company, The Whistler's strange story, Guilty Conscience.
Sitting by the window of the streamliner as it sped through the night toward Los Angeles, Arthur Wilson seemed like any average middle-aged businessman. But there had been a time when Arthur Wilson was someone else. Jack Foley, convict. And though it had been 20 years ago, Jack Foley, now Arthur Wilson, would never forget it. The plaintive wail of the train whistle drifting back at him now somehow recalled that other time and place, exactly as if it were this moment. Perhaps it was because another whistle had marked the time when it all began. The night that Jack Foley was given a chance to reach out, to grasp a new life. That night 20 years ago in a prison machine shop.
That's all, you guys. Clean up the shop.
Right. Well, Dave, that about does it. This truck's practically got a new motor.
Yeah, she's in fine shape, Foley.
Yeah, well, come on. Let's get this stuff cleaned up and everything.
Foley.
Yeah?
Ignition keys. Hand them over.
What?
Look, I don't want any trouble. Give me the keys. I'm getting out of here.
You're not... Oh, now, wait a minute, Dave.
Get up. It's all set. Evans and Harris are at the delivery gate. I'm picking them up with this truck, and we're going out. You want to come along?
Hey, what's holding it up back there?
Make up your mind, Foley, fast. That guard will be coming back here, and I got to take care of him. Now, what do you say?
It happened suddenly, didn't it? An unexpected chance for freedom thrust into your hands. You had 3 more years to serve on your sentence for manslaughter. A sentence that was the result of a moment of blind, unreasoning rage, during which you killed your partner in an argument over $10,000 missing from your joint account. You knew where that money was, didn't you? Because you'd stolen it, put it safely away in another city. And once you'd made good your escape, you were certain you could get your hands on it. You had only an instant to make your decision. Finish your sentence or take a chance toward immediate freedom.
Come on, Foley. You're coming along, or aren't you? The guard's on his way back here.
All right. I'm with you. Let's go.
Hey, the guard back there. You could have gone easier with him.
Maybe I should have let you do it. You killed the guy, huh?
You sure this is going to work?
Stop worrying, will you? I told you I took care of everything. Look up ahead. Evans and Harris waiting. And there's the gate guard out cold.
You better slow down. Hey, the alarm.
They'll never get us now. Swing on, you guys. We're not stopping. This is a one-way ride or none at all.
Now you're crossing the country again, this time in a deluxe train. A very different ride than the one you took that night 20 years ago. But when it was over, you were a free man, and with the help of the $10,000 you stole, Jack Foley, convict, became Arthur Wilson, Bayview Retail Store proprietor. All through the years, your identity was never questioned. And now, many years later, you're able to journey toward Los Angeles to attend the wedding of your daughter Sally to Stephen Franklin, heir to the Franklin fortune, manufacturing interests. The prospect of a wealthy son-in-law carries interesting possibilities, doesn't it? The trip is uneventful, calm, the hour before the storm. But you have no way of knowing that. And on an evening a week later, you're dancing with your daughter Sally at the palatial home of Mrs. Alice Franklin, mother of Sally's fiancé, Stephen Franklin.
Oh, Dad, isn't it wonderful? I'm so happy.
Yes, that's pretty obvious.
I guess I do show it. But the best part of the whole thing is you're here.
You think I'd miss it? My only child's wedding?
Do you like Stephen?
Of course. He's a great kid. You know, his mother seems quite nice, too.
Mrs. Franklin?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's swell, Dad. Come on, let's go join Stephen. He's in the library.
You can't leave that man of yours for 5 minutes, huh?
I'll leave him later for another dance with you.
All right, dear.
Oh, here we are.
Well, there you are, Sally.
Hi.
I thought I'd lost you. Bringing her back to you, Stephen. Oh, thank you, Mr. Wilson. Say, enjoying yourself, sir? Oh, I'm doing fine. I bet you'd do better with a little refreshment. Jameson? Yes, sir? What'll it be, Mr. Wilson? Come tomorrow? Stinger? What about you, Mother?
A stinger sounds exciting, but just a small one, Jameson. And have Hilda serve more sandwiches.
Yes, madam. And, you, sir? A stinger will be fine for me, too.
Bring them out on the terrace, Jameson. I want Mr. Wilson to see the way we have the garden lighted.
Oh, now be careful of Mother, Mr. Wilson. A dangerous woman? Very.
Oh, you go on and dance. Take him away, Sally.
I'd love to.
Oh, that son of mine.
Yes, he's a fine boy.
Yes. Here, we can go out this way.
Hey, this is nice.
Yes. And it was a good excuse. I wanted to talk to you, Mr. Wilson, alone.
Oh?
This isn't easy for me to talk about, Mr. Wilson. But, quite frankly, I'm concerned. Now, I don't want you to think it's because we don't all love Sally. We do, but...
But what, Mrs. Franklin?
You run a retail store, Mr. Wilson, in Bayview.
Yes?
Well, that's all we know about you, your background, your family. Even Sally doesn't seem to know. I only wondered if...
Well, it's quite natural that you wondered, Mrs. Franklin. And I can set your mind at ease. I was brought up by an uncle. I ran away like so many youngsters did in those days and went to sea for a while.
Oh? Your uncle, where is he now?
He's dead.
He was my mother's brother. As for my father, well, I scarcely remembered him. And, of course, you know that I've been a widower for 10 years.
Oh, Mr. Wilson, I didn't mean to recall unhappy moments to you. I know you must think I'm terrible, but... Oh, my son.
I think I understand. I feel the same way about my daughter, Mrs. Franklin. I'm proud that she's marrying Stephen.
Thank you. I know you can see where I would at least inquire that the children shouldn't make a mistake they might regret.
There'll be no regrets, Mrs. Franklin. No reason that there should be. I promise you.
All right, Mr. Wilson. We just won't discuss it anymore. And thank you. After all, the big thing is that Stephen is marrying a fine girl.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way about Sally.
I do, and now, if you don't mind, I'm going in. Stephen knows I've been thinking about this, and I'm going to tell him it's all right.
Well, thank you. You mind if I stay out here a few minutes?
Oh, do, by all means. It's so quiet and nice. Gives a person a chance to think. Here's Jameson. You can serve Mr. Wilson here, Jameson.
Yes, madam.
I'm going back inside. I'll take mine. Thank you.
And I'll be along shortly, Mrs. Franklin.
All right.
Your drink, sir?
Oh, yes. Thanks.
Thinking of something else?
Well, yes, I was, it doesn't matter.
I think it would, sir. To her.
What? What are you talking about?
Delightful woman, Mrs. Franklin. Pleasant, friendly, but very, very devoted to that son of hers. All she has in the world, you know, except money.
Aren't you being a little presumptuous, Jameson?
Presumptuous? Oh, no, sir, not at all. I wouldn't dare be presumptuous to one of Mrs. Franklin's guests. She could cause a lot of trouble, you know, to anybody who wasn't right in line.
You're a little confusing, Jameson. I don't suppose you've been sampling these stingers.
Oh, no, sir. I never drink when I've got business on my mind. But I don't want to be confusing. I want to be perfectly clear. She was asking questions, wasn't she? Wanted to know all about you.
Now, see here, Jameson.
I was talking, sir. And you'd better listen quite carefully if you know what's good for you. Because I could break up your daughter's marriage in a minute. Jack Foley.
Jack Foley?
I think you know him. I think we both know him. Don't we? Now, shall we talk about him? Or do you think you would prefer to go back behind those prison bars, Mr. Foley?
You're hearing and reading a lot these days about exciting new type automobile engines that deliver spectacular performance and at the same time more miles per gallon because they're scientifically engineered to operate more efficiently. Well, friends, that's exactly what Signal Ethyl, the premium quality of Signal's famous Go Farther gasoline, is scientifically engineered to do, to help the engine in your car operate more efficiently. Yes, Signal Ethyl is scientifically engineered to give you trigger-quick starting the instant you touch the starter. Signal Ethyl is scientifically engineered to give you brilliant pickup and pep that puts more fun into driving. And Signal Ethyl is scientifically engineered to give you smooth, quiet power to take you down highway or uphill with relaxed ease. So whether your car is one of the dynamic new high-compression jobs or a vintage model, if you want to enjoy the best performance it's capable of, fill up with the Signal Super Fuel that's scientifically engineered to help your engine deliver its best. Fill up with Signal Ethyl.
It was a sudden thing again, wasn't it, Arthur? Like that moment that resulted in your sentence for manslaughter more than 20 years ago when you were still Jack Foley. The sudden decision you made a few years later to join in that prison break. And now this startling recognition by a servant who calls himself Jameson in the home of your daughter's fiancé. He can destroy everything, can't he? Your daughter Sally's marriage, the opportunity such a match will afford you, even your business in Bayview. He can even brand your whole life as a masquerade, tell them all who you really are, and send you back to prison.
Jack Foley, my old classmate. And I'm not mistaken. I've been very careful, Jack.
My name is Wilson. Arthur Wilson.
Sure, and mine's Jameson. Now it is. Used to be Sanders. Remember me? 3 cells down from you, same section, number 34192.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I've lived in Bayview for 20 years, and I never heard of you.
Oh, come now, Foley. Put on your thinking cap.
I've told you my name is Wilson, and I never saw you before.
My, what a contrast in memory. Why, I recognized you instantly. But it's understandable. I was a very young man, and you only knew me a short time. You left us rather suddenly, Jack.
Stop calling me that.
Sorry. Sir? That better? I ought to call you Lucky. Lucky Jack Foley, now Arthur Wilson, a successful businessman. His daughter about to marry into one of the wealthiest families in the state.
What are you after?
Oh, your memory's getting better, isn't it?
Well, what is it? What are you after? Is this some sort of a blackmail pitch you're giving me?
Now, that's a very interesting thought.
It might be if I were the man you think I am.
The man I know you are.
How long have you worked here, Jameson? Or Sanders, if you prefer.
6 months or so.
Well, you must be out of your mind. Supposing I happen to be Jack Foley. Do you think for 1 minute that Mrs. Franklin or anyone else would take your word for it?
Oh, no, sir. Certainly not.
Then what are you driving at? Why all these ridiculous suggestions?
Sir, I have what is known in the trade as a black on white. Surely you remember Professor Slips Dolan, Dean of Forgery? He was in another section, but in the apartment just below.
I'm getting tired of this, Jameson.
Great man, Professor Dolan. To the professor, any official document was a black on white. I have such a document.
Regarding Foley?
Regarding you, yes. The light's very good out here. I'll show it to you. But just remember, the light's also too good for you to start anything.
You seem to think of everything.
Take a look at this, and you'll really think so, sir. Here. The letterhead will convince you, I think. Look at it.
Bureau of Identification, Washington, D.C. Department of Fingerprints. The Bureau of Identification sent my fingerprints to you?
Oh, no, sir. It was the other way around. I sent your fingerprints to them.
But how could
It was quite simple. My training, you know. I'm sure that as a retail merchant you were grateful, shall I say, to our alma mater, for what you learned of merchandising in the prison commissary. I've used my training in photography to advantage many times. Taking fingerprints is a very simple process.
Slow down, Jameson. Where did you get my fingerprints?
Oh, they're all over the house, sir. Naturally, as a servant, anxious to please, I go all over the house. I picked up your prints first night you were here. Your water glass, wine glass, knife, fork. And then I sent the photographs off to Washington.
That's fantastic.
But true. The answer arrived this morning. The prints of Jack Foley, escaped convict, and Mr. Arthur Wilson, retail merchant, are exactly the same. Amazing coincidence, don't you think?
What are you going to do?
It's a question of what you're going to do, Jack. For me.
Call me Wilson. Arthur Wilson.
Gladly, Mr. Wilson. You'll cooperate, then?
My daughter's getting married in 4 days. Now, what is it you want?
Oh, I'm very common as a blackmailer. I want money. $20,000.
$20,000? Well, you might as well ask for $1 million. I haven't had more than $2,000 or $3,000 in the past 2 years.
Oh, come now, a prosperous retail merchant.
I don't even own the store, Jameson. Most of the stock is on consignment.
You'll have to sell things much faster than you ever did, won't you, old chap?
I can't raise that much money.
Now, I'm the one who's getting tired. You'll raise it, Foley. Every dime, no more, no less. And I want it by Tuesday at 4 o'clock.
2 days? Well, that's impossible. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to the police.
Go right ahead. I'll go to Mrs. Franklin with this letter. That'll wreck both our futures. But then, I haven't got my daughter's marriage to a millionaire to worry about. Tuesday at 4, sir?
There it is, Arthur. A demand that places your future and your daughter's wealthy marriage in the balance. You feel certain it'll be all over if you don't meet Jameson's request for the money. And you haven't the slightest idea where you're going to get it, even part of it. But you have to try. The next morning, from a booth in a neighborhood drugstore, you put through a call to Walter Reynolds, Bayview Bank executive.
I have your party, sir. Go ahead.
Hello? Hello, Walter. This is Arthur Wilson.
Oh, yes, Arthur. What can I do for you?
Well, something's come up. I can't go into details over the phone, but I've got to raise some money.
Certainly, Arthur.
It's an unusual amount, but...
Well, I'm sure we can take care of it, Arthur. We'll be glad to credit your account with a couple of thousand.
Well, it's more than that. I need 20,000, Walter.
20,000? You know we couldn't handle that, Arthur.
Well, I know it's a great deal, and I figured that banking with you for over 20 years meant something. And...
It does, Arthur. Of course it does. That's why I just agreed to a couple of thousand. But 20, I can only go so far. Look, Arthur, if it'll do any good, I'll add my personal endorsement and make it 5,000.
5,000?
Is that better? I'll wire it to you down there in care of the Interstate Trust and Savings.
5,000. All right. Thanks, Walter. Thanks a lot.
It doesn't mean much, does it? Added to your checking account and the few traveler's checks you're carrying, it's still only a total of $6,500. Jameson said 20,000, and you know that that's his price for delivering you the letter that will bring your past to light. You put through another call to your closest friend, Ward Weston, only to discover that he's away on business and can't be reached. It's $6,500 or nothing, isn't it? Tuesday morning, returning from the Interstate Trust Bank, you tell yourself that you're going to get that letter. 4 o'clock that afternoon, you face Jameson in the library.
Well, Foley, you brought the money, have you?
Look, Jameson, give me a break, will you?
The money, Foley, or I'll start talking.
Look, I'm not thinking of myself.
Skip the pretty speeches, Foley. You are thinking of yourself. The things you'll get out of your daughter's marriage into the Franklin family. Well, do I get the money?
Well, I wasn't able to get it all.
You weren't able to... All right. How much did you get?
6,500.
6,500? Why, that's not even half of it.
Keep your voice down and stop calling me Foley.
Oh, I should have told you. We're practically alone. Mrs. Franklin went downtown. Stephen is out with your daughter.
You shouldn't have told me that. You're not going to spoil all this, Jameson, for me, anybody. I want that letter.
Now, don't get impulsive. I'm not fool enough to get careless, you see?
A gun.
I haven't forgotten about that temper of yours. Your sudden way of doing things. It put you in jail and got you out. But it won't do you any good now.
Won't it? Nice of you, Jameson. Nice of you to bring your own gun. Foley!
Well, Arthur, after all these years, you've done it again, haven't you? You stand over him, the rage slipping away into fear. You wanted Jameson out of the way. You were willing to go to any lengths to get that letter. As you shake your head and fight to clear your senses, you realize that you must get the letter and then get rid of Jameson's body, or at least get away from the house before his body is discovered. You stoop down, rummage through his pockets, even take his wallet so that it will seem to be a robbery. Then you start out of the room and stop to find yourself staring at an eyewitness, the downstairs maid.
Hilda.
You killed him. You shot Mr. Jameson.
No, Hilda. It was an accident. You've got to believe me.
I saw you from the hall.
It was self-defense. I had to do it, Hilda. You've got to tell them that. The door. Someone's at the door. Stall them, Hilda. Try to send them away. I've got to have time
No, you killed Mr. Jameson.
I'd like to see Mr. Jameson, please. I'm from police headquarters.
He's in there.
Mr. Jameson?
He's Mr. Wilson. That's Mr. Jameson on the floor.
Just a minute. He's dead.
Yes. Mr. Wilson there just killed him. I saw him do it.
Well, what do you know? Come to pick up a blackmailer and catch a killer right in the act.
And he stole a letter from Mr. Jameson's inside pocket.
Let's have it, Wilson. Bureau of Identification, Washington, D.C. That letter must have been very important to you, Wilson. Come on. Let's go.
If you really want to protect your car, then the motor oil for you is Signal's amazing new heavy-duty type oil that reduces engine wear due to lubrication 50%. Consider just 4 of the important extra ways new Signal Premium Motor Oil helps to keep your car young. 1, keeps oil rings clean and free. 2, controls and reduces such harmful engine deposits as carbon, gum, and varnish. 3, prevents sticking of hydraulic valve lifters. And 4, stops acid corrosion and rust. Result, maintenance costs are kept down, down, down. And performance is kept up. So if you're still using lazy, old-fashioned oil that merely lubricates, it's high time to make a change for the better. Change oil next time at a Signal service station. Change to new, harder-working Signal Premium Motor Oil that reduces engine wear due to lubrication 50%.
Well, it's all over, isn't it, Arthur? Your long years of living a double life. The end of the masquerade as Arthur Wilson. The name you took up some 20 years ago when under your real name, Jack Foley, you escaped from prison. And now you've killed another man. A man who knew you when you were in prison. A man who is threatening to expose your almost forgotten past. After a sleepless night in your cell, you're taken to the office of District Attorney Grant.
I sympathize with you, Mr. Wilson. Blackmail's a dirty business. But you should have let us handle it. The minute Sanders, or Jameson as he called himself, wrote that letter to the FBI, it was all over for him.
For him?
That's right. Those boys never overlook a bet. Anytime they get a suspicious communication, they look into it. In this case, they naturally examined Sanders' note for fingerprints.
Found Sanders' prints?
Sure. They were on both the letter he wrote and the envelope he mailed it in.
They were looking for him?
Uh-huh. We've been trying to find Sanders for some time. When the Bureau tipped us off that the butler Jameson was Sanders, I sent one of my boys out to pick him up. If you'd waited a few minutes, he'd have been out of your hair. You should have come to us, Wilson.
Yeah. Well, I guess some guys never learn. Could you keep this out of the papers for a couple of days until after my daughter's wedding?
I guess you haven't seen the morning papers. Your daughter eloped to Las Vegas with young Stephen Franklin yesterday afternoon.
Yesterday afternoon?
Yeah, took a plane at 3 o'clock. About an hour before you killed the butler. Seems the kids didn't want all the falderall of a big wedding. Just took things into their own hands.
Well, at least I didn't mess up her life.
That wasn't your fault.
No, I suppose not. Well, I figured I just had to get hold of that letter to Jameson from the Bureau of Identification.
You didn't read that letter, did you?
Well, no. Your men took it before I had a chance.
Uh-huh. I'll read it for you. Dear Mr. Jameson, regarding the fingerprint photos accompanying your inquiry as to the further identity of one Arthur Wilson, please be advised that information of this kind is available only to duly authorized agencies for the enforcement of the law.
Let that whistle be your signal for the Signal Oil program, The Whistler, each Sunday night at this same time. Signal Oil Company has asked me to remind you, now that school days are here again, it's even more important to drive at sensible speeds, be courteous, and obey traffic regulations. It may save a life, possibly a child. Featured in tonight's story were Bill Foreman, Jess Kirkpatrick, Gene Bates, Betty Blythe, Ted Osborne, Lamont Johnson, and Herbert Litton. The Whistler was produced and directed by George W. Allen, with story by Edward Bloodworth, music by Wilbur Hatch, and was transmitted overseas by the Armed Forces Radio Service. The Whistler is entirely fictional, and all characters portrayed on The Whistler are also fictional. Any similarity of names or resemblance to persons living or dead is purely coincidental. Remember to tune in at the same time next Sunday, when the Signal Oil Company will bring you another strange story by The Whistler. Marvin Miller speaking for the Signal Oil Company. Stay tuned now for the Horace Height Show, which follows immediately over most of these stations. This is the CBS Radio Network.
The Mummers in the Little Theater of the Air.
And now the Hermit.
The Hermit knows of them all. Turn out your lights. Turn them out. Have you heard the story? The House of Murder, Then listen while the Hermit tells you the story.
Yes, come in.
Mr. Burton, I'd like my wages, if you please.
What's that?
Yes, Mr. Burton.
Well, Millie, you're dressed to go out. My breakfast hasn't been served.
That's right, Mr. Burton. I'm leaving right now, and I'd like my wages, if you please.
Oh, this is preposterous.
Oh, it's something bad, all right.
You can't go without giving me more notice than this.
I'm sorry, but I can't stay.
What's it all about?
This house, Mr. Burton, it's this house. It's truly haunted.
Nonsense. It's just because we've only been in the house for a few days. It's strange to you yet.
You don't get over being strange. It gets worse every night.
Oh, ridiculous.
Well, you can say all you want to, Mr. Burton, but I'm leaving. I'll work for you in the city. I've been faithful to you for a good many years, and I'll go right on being faithful if you'll move back to the city again.
Millie, I can't run my life to suit those who work for me. I purchased this house in the country in order that I might have peace and quiet for my work.
There's a little peace here. Every night the sounds. And last night I... Oh, I don't want to talk about it. Please, Mr. Burton, I've got to be leaving this morning.
How are you going to get into town?
I took the liberty of calling one of the stores, and the owner's sending his son out with a car.
All right, Millie.
As soon as you give me my wages, I'll wait outside. I'm afraid to stay inside any longer.
Why, of all the absurd...
If you value your life, you'll get out, too.
left it unlatched. Feels just as if someone was in the room here with me. Oh, it's as if something brushed past me. I could swear I felt it touch my shoulder. Oh, ridiculous. Pages turning. Pages of my ledger turning. Just as if a hand moved the pages. Wind couldn't cause it. There isn't any wind in here. Oh, I'm dreaming things. It's utter nonsense. Millie's got me all upset. Oh, my test tubes. My experiment. The test tubes knocked to the floor. I'm not dreaming this. This is too real. I need Karmer. He'll solve this. Hello. I want to put in a long-distance call. I'd like to speak to Lyman Karmer in New Carden. Yes. Yes, you've got it right. Lyman Karmer in New Carden. The telephone number is...
How much farther do we have to drive into the wilds, young man?
We're almost there now. Life of me, I can't figure why Jim wants to hide himself away miles from civilization.
Well, this new man ain't been out there but a few days.
Few days too many, if you ask me.
I drove out here yesterday. I picked up a woman who'd been working out there. Wanted to go back to the city.
Not Millie.
Seems like that was the name she gave.
Well, what's up?
I couldn't rightly tell you, mister. Just couldn't tell you.
Jim seemed to be strangely urgent about something last night.
Look, mister. You can see the lights of the house now. See, about 8-10 right away through the trees.
Oh, yes. What sort of a place is it?
Oh, it's quite a place, mister. Really something in its day.
Old house,
Yes, sir. I guess no one's lived in it for years. Old man Chimler knows it. He's lived in town as long as I can remember. Yeah, this is the drive leading up to the house. Lined with trees on both sides. House never gets no real daylight into it. Here we are, sir. Now get your bag.
Oh, never mind. I can take it. Here, young man.
Oh, thank you, mister. It's more than it's worth.
That's all right.
Anything I can do for you, just call the general store and ask for Mark.
Thanks. I'll do that.
Lyman.
Jim. Hello, Jim.
I began to think you didn't make the train.
It was 40 minutes late.
Come on in. Nice of you to come.
You old recluse. The idea of picking a spot no man ever heard of.
Bring your things into the sitting room. We'll go upstairs later.
All right. Well, this is nice.
Uh-huh. Sit down.
Thanks.
Yes, Millie got it fixed up pretty well before she went back to the city. My laboratory is right off this room. Everything handy. You had dinner, Lyman?
Yes, Jim. On the train.
Good. I'm not much at fixing meals.
The young man, Mark, from the general store, said that Millie had left you. What's the idea?
I'll tell you all about it. That's why I called you.
Well, it's nice here, Jim, but I can't see why you chose a place so far away from everywhere.
Oh, I like it here.
Well, that's reason enough, I guess. Millie coming back to take care of you?
No. No, I'm afraid not. Lyman, Millie left because she was certain that this house is haunted.
Oh, Jim.
I called you last night because I remember a story you once told. Story of a haunted house. You told it as if you gave credence to the tale.
Is that so?
I remember well. That's why I wanted you here.
Well, Jim, you don't think by any chance that this house is haunted, do you?
I'm not so sure about what I do.
Oh, absurd.
You think it impossible?
Well, naturally.
You didn't talk that way when you were telling us that evening of a place off the coast you knew that was haunted.
That was a fireside tale. Quite different from reality.
Lyman, it's only a short time until midnight. Will you come into the laboratory with me? Will you sit in there with me for a little while and see if the same things that happened last night occur again?
Of course.
If the same things do occur again, I shall be convinced that Millie was right. I shall be quite sure that something does happen. Does haunt the house.
Nearly midnight, Jim.
Did you check the door into the laboratory to see if it's closed tightly?
I checked it.
You're convinced it's securely fastened?
Yes. Just striking midnight.
Yes. This was the hour last night.
What are we to watch for?
The door first. The door into this laboratory. Listen. It sounded as if someone has his hand on the doorknob. Look.
It's opening.
Yes. Just as it did before.
There's no wind tonight.
No, last night. Lyman, do you feel the presence of someone in this room? Someone besides us?
No. I don't.
I do.
What is it?
Once again, it was as if something brushed past me. Touched my shoulder.
What's that?
Look. Look over on the table. Watch my ledger. You see? The pages of my ledger are turning. As if a hand is on them.
Jim, I can't believe my eyes. It's incredible.
Now look. On the workbench. See? Something is moving those test tubes. I'm going to stop this before all my experimental work's through.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to walk over there, put my hands on the rack. What? Lyman, something touched my hand. Something I felt like sharp nails digging into the flesh.
Oh, it's your nerves, Burton.
Lyman, there's something in this room. Something that moves about in here. Some unseen thing that enters the door and moves in this room.
Don't let your imagination run away with you, Jim.
There is a thing in the house beyond scientific explanation. You know it. It's something vital and alive. A thing of power and locomotion. And it's up to us to find out what it is.
Well, we might as well look through this room. No use overlooking anything.
Seems silly, doesn't it? We're not going to find anybody in these rooms.
Didn't you say that Millie heard things upstairs?
So she said. She complained the very first night we were here that someone entered her room.
She didn't see anyone?
No. She didn't see any more than we did just a while ago downstairs.
Now that the incident of downstairs is past, it seems to me that it never happened. Perhaps it was your power of suggestion that made us both think we saw movement. Well, nothing out of the ordinary in this room.
No.
Well, what do you say we forget it and get some sleep, hmm?
All right. We're not going to discover anything tonight, I guess.
Did you talk to the man who sold you the house, Jim?
Jim?
Yes.
Sure. He brought me out here after I chanced upon the place. We went all through it together.
Of course, he didn't say why the house had stood unoccupied for a long time.
Yes, he did. Said that after his wife died, he wanted to live in town. But he was getting too old to keep up a place like this.
Uh-huh.
Said that up to this time, he couldn't find anyone who could afford to buy it. Oh, well, we'll go downstairs and get your things and bring them up to your room. Lyman, how was that?
Something downstairs.
It came from the laboratory. I know it did. It's the only place where there's so much glass.
Don't get upset, Jim.
Great heavens, look.
Well, of all things.
Everything in the room's smashed. Equipment that's taken me months to build. Everything ruined.
Jim, some human has been in here. Someone who's trying to stop your experiment by destroying your equipment. Wipe out your work.
Oh, ruined. It'll take months to arrive at this point in my experiment again.
Someone has been hiding downstairs here, Jim. We've got to find out where and who it is.
Is it a human being who hides in the house, intent upon destroying all that Tim Burton creates in his laboratory? Or is it an unseen force, as Jim said earlier in the evening? An unseen force with power and locomotion that lives in the old house. Eh? The hermit will tell you before the night is done. The following night, Tim Burton and his friend Lyman Carmer sit in the laboratory. Just a few minutes ago, the clock struck midnight. Right now, Burton is busily engaged building up step by step the experiment which has been ruined the night before. Lyman Carmer is watching him.
Jim, don't you think you ought to knock off for the night? You worked steadily all day.
There's so much time lost that I have to make up, Lyman.
Well, it certainly aren't going to have any visitor tonight.
There's nothing left for them to destroy now.
Tomorrow I'll go into town and inquire around. Think I should go to see old man Shimlin. Ask him to tell me something about the place. Well, maybe he can put us on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
I would have gone today, but I wanted to make sure. I wanted to see if we'd have the same experience of last night. You, going to work much longer?
At least an hour.
It's way past midnight. Guess I'll go upstairs.
Okay.
If you want anything, call me.
All right, Lyman. Thanks a lot for staying over. It's a great help.
Yes, if we can find out what it is or who it is that's causing this trouble.
We'll find out. Good night.
Good night.
Let's see. Next step is to unite the two chemicals to form step B. Where's that ledger? Yes. And the next step I performed was... Oh, wait. Pages in the ledger. Page 5, 6. A page is missing from here. Every step I'd worked out and put down is torn out of this book. Oh, what is it? What is it that dogs my trail and won't let me do this work? Step by step, I'll have to work it all over again. What? Someone at the door again. Is that you, Lyman? No, it isn't. Just as before, I feel the presence of some person in this room. As if they were standing over me. What do you want? What is it you... Something around my neck. Something choking me. Choking me. Jim, help. Help me. Jim, help.
What's happened? Fainted. Fallen to the floor. Jim. But... Great heaven. His whole face is burned by the stuff he was working with. Hello? Oh, for heaven's sake, hurry. Hello, operator. Send a doctor to the old Chimlin place right away. Hurry. There's been a terrible accident. Man's face is almost burned away. Well, Doctor?
I'm afraid it's quite hopeless. If he lives, his sight will be gone, his face horribly scarred.
Poor Jim. We'd only gotten out of this place last night.
Did you call Asa Chimlin as I asked you to do?
Yes, he should be here any minute.
I'll wait then.
Sit down, Doctor.
After the story you told me about the experience you've had, I think it's up to Chimlin to tell his story.
You sound as if there was something very mysterious. Something that Jim should have been told before he bought this place from Chimlin. If it had been told, it would have saved him the agonies he's going through right now.
Mr. Karma, what I know has given me in professional confidence. What others in the town might have told you would have been gossip. And no one tells gossip about Asa Chimlin.
How so, Doctor?
Well, he's the owner of many mortgages, many notes. A man of wealth and power in our community.
I see.
Oh, there's a car turning in the drive, Mr. Karma.
It must be Chimlin.
I'll go up to Mr. Burton again. Call me if Chimlin refuses to speak.
Well, thank you.
Hello, sir.
Well, hello, Mark. Where's Mr. Chimlin?
Oh, he didn't come, sir. He called at our house and got me to drive out and bring you this note.
Well, come in.
Why, I reckon I better not, sir.
Well, why not?
I reckon I just as lief stay outside of this house, if you don't mind.
Oh, come on in just a moment while I read this note. Nothing can harm you in the daytime.
Well, all right. Just till you read the note.
Come in here. Sit down while I read the note.
Yes.
Oh. Well. Mart, what made you say you'd rather not come inside this house?
Oh, I can't say, sir. Really, I can't. Mr. Chimlin would get even with my dad if I said any more. You see, he about owns our store.
I wouldn't tell Chimlin. Come now.
Well, sir, you see, the Chimlins, their daughter, she wasn't quite right, and she died out here. And Mrs. Chimlin, she hanged herself. Folks have always been scared of this house because of that.
I see. Why did Mrs. Chimlin hang herself?
I don't rightly know.
Well, perhaps the doctor can tell us.
Hello, Mark. Hello, Doc.
Chimlin didn't come. Sent this note saying he would refund Mr. Burton's money and take the house back again. Says nothing more.
Mm-hmm.
But Mart here has volunteered to tell me that there were 2 deaths in this old house. One, a hanging.
That's right.
Mrs. Chimlin?
Yes.
And the girl?
Her case was hopeless. 18, she had a mind of a child of 4. They took her everywhere, but to no avail. Time after time, Mrs. Chimlin pleaded with me to put the girl to sleep, to end her misery. But I couldn't do that. She hated me for it. Her hate grew until her mind was unsettled. One day, she took it upon herself to end the girl's life. Then, realizing what she'd done, she hanged herself in the room Mr. Burton has been using for his laboratory. If Mr. Chimlin knew we told us, Doctor... Oh, that's all right, Mart. If there is any truth in the fact that an unseen force lives in this house, and you'll see how hard it is for me to believe that, then why did it seek vengeance on Mr. Burton?
I have never believed in supernatural force any more than you. But remember, I've seen it at work in this house. And as for seeking vengeance on Jim... Doctor, he was working on an experiment to prolong life. A discovery which might have added untold years to the life of a human being. And this is something that the spirit of the woman who hanged herself did not want. That's why it destroyed the experiments.
And that's why it destroyed Jim Burton. He died just before I came downstairs.
The hermit knows that in the old house, the unseen force was the spirit of a woman who took her own life. The woman who could not rest in her grave. The woman who returned to destroy anything that might prolong life. Yes. She kills Jim Burton by the power of supernatural force. Turn on your lights. Turn them on. I'll be back. Pleasant
All characters, places, and occurrences mentioned in the Hermit's Cave are fictitious, and similarity to persons, places, or occurrences is purely accidental.
The Mutual Broadcasting System presents The Mysterious Traveler, written, produced, and directed by Robert A. Arthur and David Coben, and starring three of radio's foremost actors, Brett Morrison, Joyce Gordon, and Leon Jennings, in Fire in the Sky. This is the Mysterious Traveler, inviting you to join me on another journey into the realm of the strange and the terrifying. I hope you will enjoy the trip, that it will thrill you a little and chill you a little. So settle back, get a good grip on your nerves, and be comfortable, if you can, as we join two young people who find themselves in the strangest situation human beings ever encountered. It's a story I call Fire in the Sky. It's late evening, and a convertible with the top down is driving along a lonely road in the Shenandoah Valley. The driver is young, in his 20s. So is the girl beside him. They're Mr. and Mrs. Nicholas Ramsey of New York City, married less than 24 hours and honeymooning. Rick Ramsey is driving slowly, for both he and Sally are watching the great golden disk which is rising in the sky above the hills to the west. Not the moon, but the new comet which the whole world is talking about with excited interest and some apprehension.
Nick, it's so bright. It's grown much brighter since last night.
Yes, I know. Seems to be about half as big as the moon now. You can almost see it grow.
It looks as if it were coming right at us.
Well, that's just an illusion. It'll pass about 15 million miles away, the radio said.
15 million. Sounds like a lot. But I wish it were more.
Oh, they said it wouldn't do much damage even if it hit us head on. Comets are mostly gas, you know.
Oh, it certainly looks solid. It is beautiful, though, isn't it? I'm glad we decided to drive tonight so we could watch it.
Let's turn on the news and see what the radio says about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try Washington. Danny Dunn has been giving a blow-by-blow account of its approach.
So everybody is aware, this is your feature reporter, Danny Dunn, speaking from Washington. Well, the big news tonight is still Comet X, as it's been nicknamed. Tonight it seems it's going to pass the old Earth a bit closer than was thought. Maybe inside 10 million miles. But it's nothing to worry about. Can't hurt us any. A comet is just gas, you know. Like some congressman here in Washington. Oh, speaking of Washington, the president and his cabinet quietly left town today with their families. We're told they're going to a special government observatory where they can all see Comet X through telescopes. Well, that just shows you how interested everybody is. The rest of the world is standing outdoors tonight, keeping an eye on the sky. After all, this is a spectacle mankind sees only once in 1,000 years, and nobody wants to miss it. Well, folks, the government has asked me to pass along the following to you. Don't be alarmed if Comet X seems to be getting awfully close.
I guess there's nothing new. I'll
It's
turn
just
it on.
an optical illusion.
Nick, look up ahead. Somebody's signaling us with a flashlight.
Yeah, it looks like an old codger, one of the local natives, I guess.
Oh, do you think we ought to stop? Such a lonely road.
Oh, he probably just wants a lift. Anyway, he's so old he couldn't hurt us any.
evening, folks. Mighty glad you come along. I need some help back.
Help?
It's my partner. Rock slide fell on him, crushed his chest in. He's down in the mine. I need help to get him out.
You're a miner?
That's right, ma'am. Name's Jones. Jerry Jones. We got us a mine up this road about a quarter of a mile. Poor Sam hurt himself an hour ago. Been waiting ever since for somebody to come along.
Well, Sally, I guess it's up to us. We can't leave some poor fellow dying and not help.
But, Nick, are you sure?
I'm sure it's all right. Okay, hop in, Mr. Jones. We'll have your partner out just as quick as we can.
Here you are, folks. The little shack covers the mine shaft.
Well, come along, Sally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry we haven't any first aid equipment, Mr. Jones.
Oh, got some down below. This way, Mr. Ramsey. You have to go down on the lift.
Nick, look how bright it is. This comet seems to be growing bigger by the minute.
Here we are. Step inside, folks. I got the flashlight.
Huh. We've got a regular mine lift in here. Machinery and everything. What kind of mine is this?
It used to be a coal mine. Got abandoned. Me and Sam, we found a little vein of diamonds down in the coal.
Diamonds?
Now, wait a minute. There aren't any diamond mines in this country.
Sure there is. Got some down below. Prove it to you after we fix up, Sam. Please step on left, Mr. Ramsey.
Nick, I think this is a trick.
So do I. A diamond mine. Listen, Jones. Coal and diamonds don't go together, even though they're both carbon. So we're not getting on that lift.
I'm afraid you'll have to, Mr. Ramsey. Believe me, I'll shoot if you try to get away.
Nick, a gun.
Now, listen, put away that revolver. I don't know what kind of crazy scheme this is,
It's not crazy. I'm trying to save your life.
Save our lives.
You see that comet in the sky?
Yes?
They're calling it Comet X. They should be calling it Doomsday.
You are crazy.
That's enough talk. In 14 hours, this Earth and that comet are going to meet, and time is precious. Get on that lift, Mr. and Mrs. Ramsey, or I'll shoot. Believe me, no harm will come to you if you do just as I say.
I guess we'd better do it, Sally. There's no use in arguing with a madman who has a gun.
Oh, if you say so, Nick.
Now, that's better. Now, hold on tightly. Don't do anything foolish. If you don't know how to operate this lift, then we have a 1,000-foot drop below us.
We've been going down for so long, though.
We're almost at the bottom, Mrs. Ramsey. Please don't be frightened. I'm doing this for your own good.
Say, who are you? You're not a native. You lost your hillbilly accent long ago.
No, I'm not. It was just a crude disguise. My name is Jeremiah Jones, formerly Professor Jones. We've reached bottom. The surface of the Earth is 1,000 feet above us. Now, Mr. Ramsey, if you and your wife try to attack me, you might succeed. It would be very foolish. You'll need me to get you out of here again.
Yes, I suppose that's right.
Very well. Please walk quietly ahead of me. These old mine shafts are quite level. I'll shine my flashlight ahead and you won't have any difficulty.
I suppose we have to humor you, but why are you doing this? What are you up to?
You won't believe me if I tell you, Mr. and Mrs. Ramsey, that you two are the most important people in the world tonight. So just walk ahead of me and we'll have the explanations later.
How much further is it? All these tunnels are winding and twisting. Nick, I'm completely lost.
Listen, Jones, if that's your name, come to your senses. Take us back to the surface and we'll forget this happened.
Careful, there's the door ahead of you.
Oh, yes.
Push it open and go in.
Well, shine your flashlight inside. We can't see a thing.
Find a light switch beside the door.
Turn it on.
Nick, he's closed the door.
He's locking us in. Jones! Jones!
Please, Mr. Ramsey. Turn on the light and just wait calmly. I'll be back. I have to go to the surface now to see if I can rescue anyone else.
Jones! Jones! Oh, he's gone.
Nick, I'm frightened.
No, it'll be all right, Sally. I'm sure it will. There was a light switch, didn't he?
Yes.
Let's see if we can find it. It should be here beside the door. Maybe it's higher. There, I've got it. Good Lord.
Nick, we're in a room. Completely furnished.
Yeah.
Chairs, tables, electric lights. There's even a radio.
Through those archways, I can see a kitchen, another room. But this place is like a furnished apartment.
1,000 feet underground, with walls of solid rock. And he's locked us in here. But why, Nick, why?
I don't know, Sally. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Nick, what time is it? How long have we been down here?
2 a.m. We've been locked in here nearly 4 hours.
Nick, it's crazy. He's a madman. He must be.
I wonder. If he's mad, there's certainly a method in his madness.
But
look around you. There's furniture, a radio, a kitchen. There must be a generator someplace to supply these lights.
That's what I mean. Only a madman would fix up an old abandoned mine like this.
You know, I've just placed his name. Professor Jeremiah Jones.
Who is he?
He's an obscure astronomer who 10 years ago claimed to have discovered a comet no one else could see. And he dropped out of sight.
He seems to have an obsession about comets. He said Comet X should be called Doomsday.
Yes, I know. And I can't help wondering. Let's turn on that radio again. I have a hunch we'll be getting some news soon. Real news.
All right. Nick, how can a radio work way down here underground?
He must have a wire running above to the surface.
Just music.
Well, let's leave it on. Maybe a bulletin.
Hello, everybody. This is your special reporter, Danny Dunn, back with a very important bulletin.
Nick.
I've just come from a meeting at the Smithsonian Institute, and I have some last-minute news about our mysterious visitor, Comet X.
He's leading up to something.
Now, folks, I don't want to alarm you. Panic won't help anybody. But it looks as if there may be some danger after all. It's only common sense to be prepared for it.
Oh, Nick.
It seems Comet X is not holding to the course predicted for it. Its orbit now intersects the Earth. In about 10 hours, the Earth will pass through the glowing heart of the comet.
Just as Professor
But
Jones
I
told us.
repeat, there is no cause for undue alarm. I have Mr. Andrew Weatherby, head of the Scientific Bureau, here at the microphone to tell you in person what to expect. Mr. Weatherby.
Nick, give me your hand. I'm frightened.
Yes, this is big if they've got Weatherby himself on here.
Good evening, everyone. As you all know, a comet is composed largely of glowing gases. Now, just what effect these gases may have when the Earth passes through them, we do not know. But we anticipate they will be so tenuous they will hardly be noticeable. However, accompanying the comet is a core of tiny particles of rock and iron. Now, these, entering our atmosphere, will cause a spectacular display of shooting stars and may do some damage.
I'll bet.
Accordingly, the government is asking everyone to take the following precautions. Within the next 8 hours, take shelter, underground if possible. Otherwise, in cellars or in air-raid shelters. Take with you all the food and water you can manage. Take bedding, warm clothes, and be prepared to stay under shelter for at least 48 hours. Begin your preparations now. You will receive further instructions by radio. But above all, remain calm.
Well, folks, this is Danny Dunn again. I'll be standing by all night long to bring you the latest. Keep tuned in, and don't worry. This will be a great story to tell your grandchildren. So long for now.
Nick, there's something they're not telling us. I'm sure of it. Do you suppose that the
Professor Jones back. Why, Professor.
Nick, he has 2 little children with him. Oh, one of them's just a baby. A little girl. Here, give it to me. Yes, all right. You mustn't cry. Everything's all right.
Thank you.
Now, if you, Mr. Ramsey, can take this little boy. Fortunately, he's still sleeping.
Yes, let me have him. I've got him. Now, you sit down. You're all in, and there's blood on your coat.
I'm afraid I've been shot.
Oh. I'll put the boy on the couch there. Yes, he's still sleeping soundly. Now, let me look at you. Let me get this coat off. Oh, I'm sorry, but it's got to come off. There. Oh, you've lost a lot of blood.
Yes, I know it. Too much, I'm afraid.
You'll have to cut your shirt loose and fix a bandage. Sally, can you help me?
Oh, yes. Baby's gone back to sleep. I'll put her down on the couch, too. Yes. Now, what shall I do, Nick?
I'm going to cut away the shirt. You pull it loose as I cut.
All right.
How did you get shot, Professor, and where did you get those children?
I went out to bring back more people to this shelter. There are no cars on the road. I went to a house a mile or so away. Family and some visitors were out in the lawn watching the comet.
That's fine, Sally. Now give me something to wipe away the blood.
Oh, here, my scarf.
I knew if I tried to persuade them, they'd think I was crazy. I saw the children, a boy and a girl, asleep in the back room. I stole them. The baby woke up and cried. Somebody shot at me. I got away in the darkness.
Catch him, Nick.
I've got him. Help me ease him into this chair.
All right.
He's passed out and lost the blood. And here we are, stuck down in an old mine 1,000 feet underground with 2 children that he's taken from their families.
Mr. Ramsey.
Here I am. So you're awake. How are you feeling?
Very weak, I'm afraid. How are the children?
Oh, they're fine. Luckily, they're too young to be scared. Sally's out in the kitchen feeding them. Now, look here, Professor. It's one thing to lure us down here. It's another thing to steal 2 babies and bring them in.
Mr. Ramsey. Face the facts. Haven't I convinced you the entire world is in grave danger?
Danger? From what? A few chunks of stone that may be part of a comet? The radio last night admitted some damage might be done.
Some damage? What do the broadcasts say now?
I don't know. We haven't listened. After we got you into bed last night and took care of the children, Sally and I just fell asleep. Since we woke up, we've been so busy we haven't had a chance to listen.
Then turn on the radio now. Let's listen.
Of course. While you were gone, Andrew Weatherby urged everyone to take shelter for a few days.
So, everybody, this is Dan Dunn, sleepy, but still on the job. Well, I guess you won't find anything else on the radio this morning except the comet. So bright you can see it blazing away in the morning sky like a baby sun. It's about 4 hours before its path intersects ours.
4 hours?
I repeat again the official advice. Take shelter. Stay under cover for the next few days, but don't panic. Panic is more dangerous than the comet, believe me. I have to admit that a lot of people have unfortunately lost their heads the last few hours. Roads leading out of every city are clogged with refugees trying to get away. A good many people have been killed in the crush of crowds fleeing the city. We have reports of hundreds of auto accidents, some looting. Fires are burning unchecked in a number of places. Firemen are fleeing with the others. Washington this morning is a deserted city. So many people here have orders, you know. They were able to get away. All the air raid shelters are full. People in them are being very calm about it. Our news from other places is a bit scanty. Some lines are down. I'll keep bringing you all the bulletins as they come in. Right now, I've got to get a little rest, so this is Dan Dunn, signing off temporarily, folks.
Well, are you convinced now, Mr. Ramsey?
Oh, people are losing their heads because they're scared. But that still doesn't say the comet is actually dangerous to the Earth.
Yes, I know. It wouldn't be if it was just an ordinary comet. But it isn't.
Well, what is it then?
Mr. Ramsey, the fiery head of Comet X is radioactive.
Radioactive?
It will envelop the world in a searing bath of atomic fire. In a dozen hours, civilization will have come to an end.
How's the professor, Nick?
Unconscious. His fever is high, and he's in a delirium. The pulse is very weak.
Only we could do something for him.
I've done what I could from the medicine chest. In his mind now, he's reliving the time 10 years ago when he first discovered Comet X and predicted that it was radioactive.
He predicted that?
Yes. Yes, we had quite a talk while you were busy with the two kids. He was an obscure professor of astronomy in a little college. He found a speck of light wandering around in the sky, identified it as a comet, analyzed it as being radioactive, and predicted that on its next visit it would strike the Earth.
And nobody believed him?
Well, the comet had vanished by then. Everybody thought he'd imagined it. And when he claimed it was radioactive and would destroy civilization, that was too much. He was fired, he had a breakdown, and was in an institution for years.
Oh, yes. Now I remember. I read something about it years ago. But the war was on,
and people had other things to think about. Everybody forgot Professor Jones and the comet. You see, the atomic bomb hadn't been developed then, so the idea of an atomic comet was considered plain crazy.
No, it's come true. Oh, Nick.
Yeah. Well, let's turn the radio on again, see if Danny Dunn's still broadcasting.
All right. What time is it?
Well, my watch says 8. Must be 8 at night. No way to be sure way down here underground.
Well, everybody, I don't guess there's much more I can say. We're broadcasting from the sub-basement of the building. There's about 6 of us locked in here. I don't know how much longer we can hold out. We haven't had any communication from outside Washington for the last hour. All wires are dead. Can't pick up any other radio broadcast. Washington's a dead city now. It's a weird sight. We have a television camera hooked up on the roof. Shows all of the big government buildings outlined by a ghostly, greenish light. Luminous gas surrounding the head of Comet X. We're right in the middle of the comet now. Be about 6 hours before it starts to withdraw. Anybody who can hear me, stay underground as long as you possibly can. Don't come out. The radioactivity will be deadly for a long time yet. Estimates vary. One guess was that our Earth will be poisoned for 20 years to come. In that case, our power seems to be failing. I guess we'll have to sign off now. So long, everybody.
She's gone up the air.
Nick, think of the whole world dead.
Now, wait a minute, darling. There's bound to be millions of people in safe places like we are. Caves, tunnels, old mines.
Yes, but did you hear what he said? The Earth may be poisoned by radioactivity for years.
Ramsey.
Yes, Professor?
I'd like some water.
Of course.
I'll bring it. Here you are, Professor Jones.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
My head is clear, but I'm very weak. How long was I unconscious?
Almost 2 days.
2 days? And the comet
has come and gone.
And the world?
The radio's dead. We can't pick up anything.
The last report from Washington said it was a dead city.
If only they'd listened to me 10 years ago.
Now, you mustn't upset yourself, Professor. You did everything one man could.
Yes. When I was released from that institution last year, I set about fixing up this refuge. I bought the old mine. All by myself, I brought down furnishings, machinery, food. When I tried to get a few people to join me here, they thought I was insane again.
We understand, Professor.
In the end, I had to resort to desperate trickery, which got you here.
And we're very grateful for it, sir.
And I stole 2 children, a boy and a girl. Out of the whole world, you 4 are all I saved.
But there must be other people alive somewhere.
Yes, of course, now. But by the time the surface of the Earth is livable again...
Will it really be 20 years?
Yes, Mrs. Ramsey. Between 15 and 20 years before the human race can once again live on the Earth's surface.
But in even 15 years, the people who are still alive now...
Exactly. Some will live. Human race is very tough. But they may be terribly changed. To reestablish civilization, we can only be sure of you four.
Oh, no.
My dear, you mustn't be dismayed. I've planned carefully. There's everything you'll need for 20 years down in this cabin. Medicine, food, clothing, books, gasoline. You must not go above ground until it is absolutely safe. Then you will find the world changed. Animal life, plant life, it may have been altered greatly by the radioactivity, but it will be safe then.
Professor, you're too weak to talk.
No, I must talk now. I haven't much more time.
Of course you have. You're going to get well, Professor. We need you.
I wish I could, but I won't. And now listen. Build for a better world. We seem to have gotten off the track somehow. Maybe nature simply decided to be done with us when she sent that comet. I don't know. But this is a chance to start over again and do better.
Professor Jones.
Nick, he's not...
I'm afraid he is. He's dead, darling.
We're left. You and me. Down here 1,000 feet underground. We have to live here. 20 years or more. Oh, no, Nick, no.
That you can't give way, Sally. We've got too much to do. Listen.
This baby. I've got to go to her.
That's what I mean. We have to take good care of those kids.
Yes, of course, Nick. Of course we do.
And we'll have to give them names. We could call them Adam and Eve, but let's not. Suppose we just call them Johnny and Susie.
Yes, Nick. All right, Susie. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Help me check up on something. Would you just step outside and have a look at the sky? There's a speck of light up there, just to the right of the North Star. It wasn't there last night, and I was just wondering if you... Oh, but it couldn't be a comet. Of course not. And even if it is, I'm sure we're in no danger. Of course, if you'd like to know the location of a nice, deep cave... Oh, you have to get off here. I'm sorry. But I'm sure we'll meet again. I take this same train every week at this same time.
Just heard The Mysterious Traveler with Maurice Tarplin in the title role. Others in our cast were Brett Morrison, Joyce Gordon, and Leon Janney. Original music played by Fred Mendelssohn. All characters in our story were fictional, and any resemblance to actual persons in name or otherwise was purely coincidental. Bill Taunton speaking. This program has come to you from New York. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
Adam Hatz presents The Strange Dr. Weird.
Good evening. Come in, won't you? Why, what's the matter? Surely you're not nervous. Or perhaps it will calm you if I tell you a story. The story of a prodigal son's homecoming. I call it Murder Comes Home. My story, Murder Comes Home, starts in a small house on the bank of a river just outside the city. Mrs. Barnes, who was very feeble, lived there with her younger son, Tom. And one evening after the doctor had paid her a visit, Tom stopped him as he was leaving.
Doctor, tell me the truth. How is she?
She's very weak, Tom. Unless we can persuade her to go to the hospital within a few days, I'm afraid I won't be able to save her.
I see. But you know how she is about not leaving this house until my brother Harry comes home again.
She hasn't seen him for 10 years, has she?
No. She doesn't know that he's in a state penitentiary for life. For murder. It would kill her if she ever found out.
I see. Well, perhaps you can get her to agree to come to the hospital just for a few days. Suppose you go in and see, huh? I'll wait downstairs.
All right, Doctor. I'll try.
Tom, is that you?
Yes, Mother. Would you like me to close the window?
No, Tom. Leave it open. It's foggy out, isn't it?
Yes. You can hardly see your hand in front of your face.
I like to hear the river. I've heard it every day for 30 years. For 30 years, I've watched the cliffs on the riverbank coming closer and closer as the river eats them away.
Mother, I wanted to talk to you about that.
Yes?
It's not safe here now. We're going to have to move out of this house soon.
Not till Harry comes back, Tom. He wouldn't know where to find me if we moved.
Yes, he would, Mother. Please listen to me. You could...
No, Tom. Not till Harry comes home. He is coming home soon. I know he is. I can feel it. He'll be here soon, Tom. Then we can move. After Harry gets here.
All right, Mother.
I can feel him getting closer and closer. It won't be long now, Tom. We must be ready for him.
Yes, of course. Good night, Mother. It's no use, Doctor. She has a mind made up that Harry will be here any minute.
Well, that's rather...
Excuse me.
Certainly.
Hello? Yes, speaking. Oh, hello, Sheriff. What? He did? Yes. Yes, I understand. Of course I will. Goodbye. Doctor, that was Sheriff Goodright. He said Harry and a companion escaped from the penitentiary early this evening by killing a guard. What? Then they stopped the motorist and took his car. The sheriff thinks they may be heading this way. Maybe that's why Mother felt Harry would be here soon.
Our cast returns in a moment with the final action in tonight's story of Dr. Weird. Meantime, I'd like to ask good doctor one little question.
What question, young man?
Do you always think of horrible, terrifying things?
No. Only last evening I was out getting a breath of air.
Ah, you breathe.
Yes. And I saw some Adam hats. They were fine-looking hats. I walked in, tried one on. And what do you think?
What?
I look just like a person.
Well, thank you, Doctor. Gentlemen, if Dr. Weird can look just like a human being by just putting on an Adam hat, think how much a smart Adam hat can do for a normal-looking man. Seriously, I hope you'll stroll by an Adam hat store yourself sometime soon. The latest fall and winter line is in. You'll see a great variety of up-to-the-minute hats in every size, color, and style, including the Adam 5, made of fine fur felt and only $5. You'll be proud to wear an Adam, and you'll be correct, too. Select your favorite at any price from $3.45 to $10. There are thousands of Adam hat stores and authorized dealers from coast to coast. Now, here's that man again, Dr. Weird.
Now I'll finish my story. Murder comes home. After the doctor left, Tom remained on guard with a loaded revolver. And just after midnight...
Hello, Tom.
So you did come here?
Where else would I go? Come on, Jake. Okay.
No, you can't come in. It would kill Mother to...
Oh, yes. How is Mother?
Tom? Tom?
Isn't that her calling now?
Quiet. Yes, Mother?
Tom? Is that Harry?
Yes, Mother. It's Harry. Come to see you.
Oh, I knew you'd come, Tom.
I'll be up in a minute, Mother. Oh, well, Tom, aren't you going to ask us in?
Now that she knows you're here, I have no choice.
Thanks. Oh, Tom, meet a pal of mine, Jake Paget.
What is this, Harry? You said we'd be safe here. This mug meets us with a gun in his
mouth. Don't worry about Tom. He'll warm up to us presently. Now, you stay here and talk to him while I run upstairs and say hello to my dear old mother. Mother was so glad to see me, Tom, that you really ought to put that gun away and ask us to stay a while.
Yes, Harry. Now you are going to stay until the sheriff gets here anyway.
Harry, you're not going to turn us in.
No.
No. I told Mother I couldn't stay, that I had a long journey to make. But suppose tomorrow she learns that I've been arrested. Then what?
It would kill her. But I'll see to it that she doesn't find out.
And I'll see to it she does. If you turn me in...
You'd kill your own mother?
That won't be necessary if you'll just be reasonable. All we want is to hide here for 24 hours.
Listen. A car just stopped outside.
Probably the sheriff. Well, Tom, make up your mind.
All right. Get in the closet there, both of you. I'll send the sheriff away.
That's more like it. Come on, Jake.
Now, wait. Coming. Oh, what's you, Sheriff?
Yeah, Tom. We're sure your brother's someplace in the neighborhood. Thought you might have come here. Seen any sign of him?
No, not yet, anyway.
You never know. Want me to leave a man with you just in case?
No, I'll be all right. I have a gun.
All right, okay. I'll be back later.
All right, Sheriff.
So long.
All right, he's gone. You can come out now.
Now, you're acting like a brother, Tom.
Yeah, that's more like it.
The sheriff said he'd be back later, though.
Well, in that case, suppose I just take the gun of yours, Tom.
You can't.
Good work, Harry. Now, Tom, you just do as we agreed, and everything will be all right. We can't get any place in this fog tonight. It's so thick you can't see a foot ahead of you. But tomorrow night they'll be off guard. We'll be able to get away.
Harry, listen.
Dogs. They've brought up bloodhounds to track us with.
And they're coming this way. What do we do?
It's no use hiding. If the dogs track us here, they'll know we're inside someplace.
That's right.
We'll fight for it. If we can get 2 or 3 of them, we may have a chance to break through.
No, Harry, listen. I've got a better idea.
Oh, yeah? What is it?
My rowboat. You remember how we used to run the rapids when we were kids?
Yeah, I remember.
The boat's still there.
In this fog, you could float down the river 20 miles before morning.
Yeah. They'll never catch us that way.
I promise they won't. You can go out the kitchen door and down the steps into the backyard. Then follow the path to the riverbank.
Okay. Jake, get going. Through the kitchen there. I got you. I'm on my way. Now, Tom, I'll just take this coat of yours.
Harry!
I'm coming.
Hurry. I hear somebody outside.
Oh, Tom!
Get going, Harry.
I'm going. They'll never catch me. Never.
Tom, over. Tom, why didn't you... Well, man, what's the matter?
I had to do it. I had to. They'd have killed you.
What are you talking about, Tom?
Harry and Jake, they were here. I told them how to escape. Through the kitchen and down the back steps to the path that leads down to the riverbank. To my boat.
Well, they won't get away. I'm going to wait, wait, nothing. Let go my arm, Tom. I'll get those two murdering rats.
Sheriff, wait. You don't understand. Shine your flashlight down there at the foot of the steps.
Great glory. There ain't any ground at the foot of those steps. When they stepped off the last step, they had a sheer 100-foot drop to the river and the rocks down there. Well, they escaped this time right enough. From human law, anyway.
Yes, Harry and Jake escaped all right. Even if it was in a way they didn't quite expect. And Mrs. Barnes at last agreed to move. Just in time, too. The house was nearly standing on the edge of a cliff. And it was only a month or so before another slide carried the house away completely. You live at the top of the cliff. If you do, Oh, you have to go now. Too bad. But perhaps you'll drop in again soon. I'm always home. Just look for the house on the other side of the cemetery. The house of Dr. Weir.
Unsolved Mysteries. Act of Providence is a phrase so carelessly used today as to have almost lost the very significance of its meaning. But at no time has it held so much meaning as in the true historical case of the Crown versus John Applegate, as reported in the Newgate Calendar. The scene is the Sessions Court of the County of Middlesex. The courthouse fronts the village green, and the holiday attire of the villagers, the laughter of children, and the entire atmosphere is one of gaiety, a gaiety almost beyond our comprehension, since the occasion of it is a murder trial. Laughter gives way to excited chattering. Dame Rumor has it that the jury have reached a verdict. Justice Selden, white-wigged and black-gowned, mounts to the bench. The small square of black cloth lying ready to the sessions clerk's hand rivets the prisoner's eyes as he's marched to the dock.
Hear ye, the Second Court of the County of Middlesex now in session. Chief Justice Selden presiding. All stand while the justice and the jury have taken their places in the court.
Know ye then, John Applegate, that you must face the jury and prepare to abide by their verdict. How say you, gentlemen of the jury? You find the prisoner guilty or not guilty?
We find the prisoner, John Applegate, guilty of murder, as charged in the indictment read by the sessions clerk.
John Applegate, you have heard the verdict returned against you. Have you anything to say why the sentence of death should not be carried out upon you?
Your Honor, I'm not guilty. I swear it. I was never at the Rose and Thistle Tavern. I never saw the murdered man. I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty.
5 men and 4 women have identified you. You say that you spent the night in company with a gentleman of quality. But no gentleman, either quality or of the common, has come forward to bear your witness.
I don't know who he was, Your Honor. I never saw him before. I only know I'm not guilty.
John Applegate, hear this. The sentence of death is to be carried out upon you. You shall be taken from this place to the place whence you came, and thence to the public gallows, where you shall be hanged by the neck until you be dead, dead, dead. And may Almighty God have mercy upon your soul.
Amen. In those days, public hangings were regarded as a legitimate entertainment, and the old men loitering around the gallows being erected by the public executioner and his assistants discussed previous hangings they had attended. In his dank cell, John Applegate prays incessantly for deliverance. His stuttered, broken sentences punctuated by the dull, ominous thud of the carpenter's hammers as the gallows grows stick by stick, beam by beam, and nail by nail.
It's time to get up.
What's that? Oh, yes. Time to get up. Odds fish. It's still dark.
You said to call you, sir, at 3 o'clock.
I did I? So? I don't remember. Where am I going that I must needs rise this early?
I don't know, sir. But you did say, sir, that you had to get to the village early.
So be it. So be it. If I did, I did. But I swear that it's beyond me. I don't know a thing of it.
Katie, have you waked the master? Yes, Miss Carrot. He'll be down directly. I don't know what's wrong with you, Miss Katie. What do you mean, wench? He swears that he doesn't remember giving us orders to wake him early. He's half asleep yet. Wait till he wakes, he'll remember. Come now, hurry and set table. Yes, Miss Janet. And remember, wench, though breakfast be in the middle of the night, pewter must be cleaned properly. Yes, Miss Janet.
I swear, I don't know what this is all about. I never said that I wanted to be about at 3 in the morning.
You've forgotten, sir. You came to my room last night, waked me and said, Janet, I want breakfast at 3. I must needs get to the village before 9.
But I have nothing to go to the village for. You, Katie, when did I tell you that I must rise early?
Last night, sir. Late it was, sir. I was fast asleep and you came and knocked on the door. You said, Katie, I must be up and about at dawn. I'll break fast at 3. You've forgotten, sir. Come, master. Breakfast is ready.
Odds fish, I haven't forgotten it. I tell you, I've not to go to the village today.
Horse be saddled and ready, master.
What's this? You too, Jacob?
Me too. What ails ye, master?
Did I waken you two in the middle of the night and tell you that I must be to the village this morning early?
Indeed, and that you did, master. Don't you remember? I told you it was foolish, like, to be coming down to the stables in the cold of the night with no coat on your back.
Odds fish. It seems that I must have done.
Yes, Master. You said that the best horse must be saddled and ready for the road at 3.
Come, Master. You're not eating enough. If you're for the road, you can set saddle better on a full stomach.
Jacob.
Yes, Master.
I never go to the stables in my slippers.
No, Master.
Then if I did last night, there will be traces on the slippers. Bring them to me.
Yes, Master.
It seems that I must, whether I will or not, be off to the village. I would that the good Lord would tell me what for I have no idea.
Aye, but you'll remember, Master, when you're on your way.
Zounds, ye act as if my memory were leaving me.
The slippers, Master.
And clean as a hound's tooth and dry as a bone, I'll be bound.
Yes, Master.
This smacks of witchery. But I'll go. I'll go to the village and see what befalls. Come, Bess. Giddy up. Come on.
Down the dark highway rides Kingsley. A strange feeling, half fear, half anxiety, drives him on. And ever and anon he mutters to himself about the foolishness of the journey. 3 hours later, the horse's pace slackens. The horse knows that around the next turn is the toll bridge, which he must cross to complete the journey to the village.
What a fool I am. The bridge will be closed, locked tight, and old Jerry doesn't open it till nigh on 9.
Mr. Kingsley, sir! Mr. Kingsley, is that you?
Jerry! Jerry! Is it you, Jerry?
Ride on, Master! Ride on! The bridge is open! There he is! There he is! Riding the horse! The man, the gentleman of quality I was with the night of the murder! Oh, praises to God, sir! You've saved my life!
And so John Applegate did not hang. Mr. Kingsley, gentleman of quality, identified Applegate as having been with him far from the scene of the murder. So firmly did Applegate believe that Providence had intervened because of his prayers that he forsook the world and retired to a monastery, where until his death he was called Brother Jonathan, the man whom God had saved. Out of deference to people who may still be living, character names in some of these unsolved mysteries have been changed. Inasmuch as any solution must of necessity be supposition, liberties of time, place, and characters have been taken. In just a moment, you will hear a solution to the toll bridge mystery. Ladies and gentlemen, the solution for which you have been waiting.
Do you mean to say that you have an explanation of the toll bridge mystery?
I believe I have. Of course, you understand that I'm not an authority on the subject, but in consulting writings by world authorities such as Manhood of Humanity by Alfred Korsybski, the files of the London Society of Psychical Research, and others, I've formed a definite opinion.
I see.
In the first place, further investigation of the mystery disclosed that the toll bridge keeper, old Jerry, had been warned about 12 the night before by Mr. Kingsley and told that he would be wanting to cross the bridge about 7 in the morning.
But didn't the toll gate keeper think that strange? I mean the idea of Mr. Kingsley riding that 3-hour trip at midnight and turning round to ride home again?
Well, naturally he thought it strange, but the very strangeness of it provides the solution.
I don't quite follow you.
Well, don't you see? It was impossible for Mr. Kingsley to be at the toll gate at midnight and at the same time waken Janet, Katie, and Jacob, the groom.
Yes, of course. Kingsley couldn't have got home till 3.
It is accepted by many, and I think justifiably, that wishing precedes thinking, and wish forms precede thought forms. Now, Applegate, lying in jail and knowing that he was innocent, was wishing to be saved.
That's natural.
Applegate knew that the only person who could save him was the, as he said, gentleman of quality who would provide him with his alibi. He concentrated his every thought, his every wish on Kingsley, although he didn't know him. Since mind is everywhere, Kingsley's subconscious was aware of the dire straits of the man Applegate, and these thoughts in turn were directed toward the persons necessary to assist Kingsley in getting to the village.
In other words, Applegate's direct thoughts were taken into partnership with Kingsley's subconscious thoughts, and Katie, Janet, Jacob, and the toll bridge keeper were awakened by the strength of these thought waves, rather than by the physical appearance of Kingsley himself.
Yes. And you must not lose sight of the fact that neither Katie, Janet, Jacob, or the toll bridge keeper had any suspicion that there was an execution impending, much less that their friend and master, Mr. Kingsley, had anything whatever to do with it. That is the final proof that the entire thing hinged on thoughts, rather than anything physical.
And its 96,000 dealers bring you Mr. James Mason in tonight's presentation of Suspense.
Tonight, Autolite presents the story of the terrifying escape of a dying man, an adaptation of Odd Man Out, starring Mr. James Mason.
I tell you, they're an unbeatable team.
Who, Harlow?
Why, the generator, starting motor, coil, distributor, and all the other important parts that make up the complete Autolite-equipped electrical system on your Autolite-equipped car.
You mean all those parts work as a team, Harlow?
They sure do, Hap, because Autolite electrical systems are designed and built by Autolite to give you the smoothest performance money can buy. That's mighty important, too, because your electrical system works for you every second your car's running, and every time you turn the ignition switch or turn on your lights, radio, or heater.
It sounds like a family team to me, Harlow.
Right you are, Hap. So, friends, be sure to specify Autolite, original factory parts for the electrical system of your Autolite-equipped car if replacements are needed. You'll find it pays. And remember, from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite.
And now, with Odd Man Out and the performance of Mr. James Mason, Autolite hopes once again to keep you in suspense.
There are 4 of us on the raid. Murphy, Nolan, Pat outside waiting with the car, and myself. So there's no need to be frightened, Johnny. It's been all planned months ago. Slow down. The safe will be open. It always is. 3:30. The wages clerk will be picking up the money. There's the office at the end of the hall. Slow down. Murphy looks frightened. I don't like the smell of this place. Here we go, boys. This is the one. This is the office. Take out the gun. You two over there. Get to the wall. Turn your face to it. All right, shut up. Do as you're told. The safe, Nolan.
It's open, it is.
What did you expect? Hurry, man. Hurry. It's all in. Come on, then. Wait for the police!
Slow. We don't want any attention. Slow. Here's the entrance. A long way off it is. The sack's heavy. We've done it. Don't get nervous now. 20 steps, maybe 25. I can see the car. Go down and back. We'll be away in a minute.
Come on, Johnny! Come on! Johnny!
Why do you stop, Johnny? Down the steps, man. There's the car. Pat, Murphy, Nolan.
Come on! Stop, you! Johnny, look out behind you! He's got a gun!
He's got a gun.
Run! Johnny!
Mad he is and all. It's like a dream. I can't move from here. It's like a dream.
Stop! Don't you!
Get them back, Nolan. I'm with you, Johnny. Oh, I'm hurt. Hurry, get to the car. Here's an alarm. Hurry! I'm hurt. He's hurt. Drag him in.
Come on, Johnny, get in!
Come on, Now I must get into the car. They're waiting for me. I can't.
Hold him on the running board. Go on, Pat. Go on!
I can't get in. Hold on to me, boys. I'm hurt. Hold on to him. He's slipping. This is a hard bed. And now I'm waking up for a dream I have had. No, something has happened to me. There was a car, and Pat, and Murphy, and Nolan, and... I've got to get away, catch up with them. Wait for me, boys! It hurts. Oh, it does.
Johnny, are you all right?
Look, he's dead.
No, he is not. No, we'll have to carry him.
Oh, listen to that, man. There's no time.
We can't leave him.
Johnny! Oh, look at his poor arm. Oh, we'll never make it.
Pat, back it up. Pat, bring the car.
Go on. Leave me be. Go on.
No, Johnny.
Oh, there's no time. They'll all be out looking for us. We can't get away.
Leave me. Put me down.
Run, Nolan. Go back to headquarters with Pat. Oh, no. It'll be the end of you.
We'll get through somehow.
No.
Why doesn't Pat back it up?
Do as I say. I'm John Farr. Get out of it. Oh, Johnny, no.
I'm the chief. It's an order.
All right. Hold on to me, Johnny. There's a shelter across the road. You heard what I said, Murphy.
The devil with you. I'm staying.
And the whistles and bells all around. It's a dream because I'm crossing the road with Murphy and there's people standing watching us. That I am wounded. And it's not a dream because of the pain. I killed a man, that's how it was. And he wounded me. So it's all up with me now. The police are coming. And it's all up with me. And Murphy. Here's the shelter. Hurry inside, Johnny, now. Hurry. It's dark in here. I'm hurt. Yes, it's dark. Now rest for a bit, will you? Rest. They're outside, looking for us. Yes. I killed him.
That was in self-defense. He shot first.
We got the money, didn't we?
Aye, we got it. Nolan and Pat will have it safe. Now, let's have a look at that arm.
I can't feel it. But it hurts, no.
Yes, I know. Now, you wait a minute. I'll find a match.
Does it look bad?
It'll be all right. We'll have it all right.
I'm finished. It's all up with me. Dennis will be the next in command. You hear me? Dennis, and then you.
He's gone, Johnny. Johnny, wake up, man. Johnny.
I can hear you, Murphy, but you'll have to come closer. Oh, I'd like to lay me down for a long sleep.
I'm tired. Tired.
Wake up, Johnny.
No, there's work to be done. Work for an island. Fight.
Johnny, can you hear me?
Oh.
Johnny, I was so worried, so I was.
You'll have to go without me.
You know I won't.
The pain is killing me, Murphy. I couldn't make it. They'll have the whole police out. It was a killing. It's me or the organization.
You need help, maybe, but we'll get you out.
It's a waste. We haven't enough men, enough guns.
Can you hold on, Johnny? Can you hold on if I go to Dennis and get some of the boys?
Don't do it.
I'll find a doctor. I'll bring him here.
No.
Have they looked in the shelter?
No. The people said they ran off the...
You trust those for witnesses? Don't be shy. Come on. Get back here. Behind the crate. Quick. Switch on the torch.
Right.
Now, over there.
They wouldn't have come in here. It's the cordon will be finding them when it starts to close in.
Johnny Murder's the one who was wounded. He's the one we want. You keep your eyes peeled, man. It'll mean a promotion this night. We'll get it. Shut up! Oh, really, I'm sorry, Johnny. I am sorry. Now, will you listen to me? Are you listening, Johnny? Now, you keep yourself here. You'll be safe now. They searched. Don't move.
Something went wrong, Murphy. We had it planned.
I know, but it doesn't matter now. We can listen, man.
The organization will have to lay low for a bit now. You know that. We'll pass the word. Things will quiet down.
All right. But first we've got to think of you. Now, I'm going to go out and bring help. I'll do it now. We'll get you away, but you mustn't move from here.
What happened to Pat? Nolan? Are they away?
I told you, Johnny. I told you.
What's that?
Over there. Maybe someone got in the back.
I dropped my gun at the mill. It's a rat! Murphy! Get it off me, Murphy! Shut up! I can't see. I hate rats. There's more of them. They'll come after you go.
No, they won't, Johnny. Now, easy, man. Here. There. Now you can beat them off with the stick. Now, do you hear me, Johnny? I'm going now. Stay where you are. Sure, you'll be all right in no time at all.
I wondered what will happen to Agnes. Agnes, with your hair so black and heavy, and the white of your skin. Agnes, and the secret lovely things of your nature. Have I ever told you? I should. But I'm married, you know. I'm married to the organization. So you'll never know. What am I doing here? What's happening to me? I've never had such a nightmare before. I've got to get out of this. I am finished now. The thing is killing me. I'm finished.
Johnny boy. Johnny Murder. It's me. It's Shell. Are you hurt bad? Why don't you answer me? I've always been your friend, Johnny. Remember? Shell?
Get out. Leave me be.
Man, the police is looking for you, so they are. Oh, they're still in tonight. How did you get through the patrol?
He's got to get out of my pub.
I can see the look of him, Mr. Fence.
The police should be here. They're everywhere tonight. He mustn't have Johnny Murphy found in here. It'll ruin me.
So he wandered in, he did. You can't help that. Think of it, Mr. Fence. He's a prized creature. Worth thousands. Well, a couple, anyway.
You'd sell him? Oh, Shell. He's wounded. The organization would get you first, so they would.
They might and they might not. Who's to know?
You're a foul little rat.
Am I not? Now, which one of us will go to the police? Will it be you, Mr. Fancy, or will it be me?
Is bringing you Mr. James Mason and Miss Pamela Colino in Odd Man Out. Tonight's production in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Say, Harlow, my car is equipped with Autolite electrical system.
Ah, good, Hap. Autolite electrical systems are used as original equipment on many leading makes of our finest cars, trucks, and tractors. And every unit and component part is related by Autolite engineering design and manufacturing skill to give the smoothest performance money can buy.
Well, I depend on my Autolite electrical system every time I start my car.
You sure do, Hap, and every second your engine is running, too, as well as every time you turn on your radio, heater, switch on your lights, or blow your horn.
It pays to keep the electrical system running right. Hey, Harlow?
It sure does, Hap. So, friends, treat the important electrical system of your car to a periodic checkup. See your car dealer or your authorized Autolite service station. To quickly locate your nearest authorized Autolite service station, look in the classified section of your telephone directory under Automobile Electrical Service, or call Western Union by number and ask for Operator 25. And remember, from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite.
And now, Autolite brings back to our Hollywood soundstage Mr. James Mason in Elliot Lewis's production of Odd Man Out, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
There is noise, and there's voices. And the pain hurts me eyes and my body. I heard some talk. It was talk of the police. And I heard them that close to me that they might have been in the same room. But I couldn't see for the pain.
It won't be me will see the police with them tonight.
Oh, then, Mr. Fancy.
Nor you. Nor you. I want no trouble, but I'll not turn him in. Police have the Tommy guns and all. It's a big sweep. Sooner or later they'll get him. But I won't do it, nor you. Stay with him. I'll get whiskey.
Oh, for goodness sake. What's to become of you, Johnny boy? Well, you're not long for the joys of life, I'm thinking. And alive, you're worth my fortune.
Shell.
Hi, Johnny. I'm your friend. It is your friend, Shell. What can I do for you?
I was supposed to stay where I was. They're coming back for me. Murphy's bringing them. Dennis, Pat, Nolan, Seamus. I was to be where Murphy left me.
Heaven preserve us, the whole organization altogether. It'd be worth it. Where, Johnny? Where were you to be? Where's the place now?
I've got to get back. They'll be looking. They'll be trapped.
Oh, dear, help us. You're in a desperate state. You can't walk the streets, you can't. Listen to me, Johnny. Listen, I think you need someone. You couldn't move in the city alone. I'll take you. And I'm telling you straight. Do you hear me, Johnny? Come on, Johnny. Come on. Let me help you.
I've got to get back.
So you have. Now, I'll take you. There. Now, rest on me, Johnny. We'll find him. Mr. Fancy. Careful now, Johnny. We'll go to the back way out.
What are you up to, Sheriff?
I told you. Sure, I'm helping is all. He has to meet his friends to save him. Now, we're going out the back. Put your head out, Mr. Fancy, and see if the coast is clear. And get a pint. You'll need it.
Why am I cold again? The wind. I don't want to walk anymore. Shell. It's Shell it is, and no one trusts Shell. What am I doing with Shell? Where is he taking me? You turn me in, you dirty...
No, Johnny, no. I want to help, not Shell. Oh, dear, help us. Here. Now get a hold of this. Take a good pour. It'll give you strength. That's enough. Now, you've had enough. Come on. Close to the walls, man. Keep out of the light.
Where are we going? Where?
Oh, sure, and you were going to tell me as soon as you could remember.
Murphy's coming back.
That's right.
Jenny, the rest.
Oh, where? Where will they be?
The shelter. The air raid shelter.
Back there? Oh, we're going the wrong way. Come on, Johnny, boy. We'll go back. Shell'll take care of you.
If I could run. If I could get away from the thing. The pain. I could leave it behind. But I don't. It's wet it is on my face. I can feel it like snow. They said it would snow tonight. It is snow. I must rest.
Johnny, come on. You can't rest here in the middle of the street. There's the police all about it. They'll see you sure. Johnny.
I had a gun. What happened to my gun?
Merciful, he's raving. Johnny. Oh, there's people coming. Now we're done for. You hear me, Johnny? I didn't give you up. You hear that? I tried.
It's him. There he is.
Oh, Murphy. It's me. It's Shell. I was trying to save the poor man, taking him to the shelter. He'd wandered in his delirium, he had.
Johnny, it's Agnes. You'll be all right now. Dennis is bringing a car around.
You found them. Listen, they're all around. We haven't a chance.
Agnes, down the alley. Take him along. We'll hold him off.
Put your arm over my shoulder, Johnny.
Here, help us. The police. Oh, they're turning into the street. Look, hurry. Take him down the alley.
Quickly, Johnny, quickly.
Come on, Johnny. Come on. Hurry. We'll all be killed. We'll take him to my place.
Where is it?
Not too far.
No, Agnes.
I've got a gun. They won't lift us.
There's killing.
No, I'm going back. Give me the gun, Agnes.
It wouldn't do any good. There's too many of them.
Dennis! Murphy! Nolan!
You're the chief. We'll start again, Johnny. Hurry.
There has been killing. I killed a man. A man killed me. I'm alone now. It's a bitter wilderness. But why am I running? It's cold, so it is. But why am I running? I will not run. I will not.
Johnny, can't you keep him quiet? If he wakes him up in the tenement, we're done for. That's for sure.
We're almost there, Johnny. Then we get a doctor. You must be quiet when we go upstairs to Cheryl's place.
I am quiet. I haven't said a word. What happened to the boys?
It's all right.
Don't make any noise. The old woman downstairs will give us away in a second if she knows.
Where's Nolan? Murphy.
Johnny, darling, no, you must be quiet.
I can't walk anymore. I want to rest.
Why, he'll have the whole place on us.
A few more steps. You can do it. Sure you can, Johnny.
All right. I open the door.
Agnes.
Yes, in a minute.
We pulled it off, it did. Got away with it.
I know.
Side with him for the dear sake. Quickly.
There's a bed, Johnny. Now you can rest. Oh, his arm. Oh, his arm.
That's the blood that's gone out of him. That's what it is. He shouldn't be alive.
Maybe this will stop the blood, Johnny.
Turn over. Help me, sir. Can you get a doctor, Shell?
I don't know. I don't know what I've done this night. I should have turned him in. I'd be rich. Now I'll probably lose my life. I'll see what I can do. But keep it quiet. Quiet. Don't let him make a sound. I'm a fool, that's what I am.
I know that face. Dear face. Agnes. And it is her own arms around me. Warm, holding me. Why, she. I remember now, we raided the mill. Murphy, Nolan, Pat, and me. I killed the man, that was it. I must have been hurt. We were hiding. Who was it, Murphy? What was I doing with Shell? He's an informer. The organization will have to take care of him one of these days. The city is too dangerous. We'll go to the country. Then, when it's quiet, we'll start again.
Yes, Johnny, yes. But you must try not to talk now. You mustn't talk.
Why did you come to look for me? You should have stayed at headquarters.
I wanted to.
Who let you do it? Dennis? He wouldn't.
I had to.
I feel better.
Good. Now lie quietly.
It's night, isn't it?
Yes, we're safe here.
Where is it?
Shell's place.
No. No, you must be mad. He'll inform.
No, he's gone to find a doctor.
To find the police.
No, he helped me bring you here.
You can't trust him.
It's all right, it is. Lie back now.
I'm sorry.
Don't talk.
I'm sorry because I was afraid. I think I've been afraid tonight.
No.
I'm not now.
You've never been afraid of anything. From the first day I saw you, even before that, when I heard about you, I knew you were not afraid.
Will you give me a kiss?
I love you.
I've never had time for that. The organization.
I love you. The organization has had you. Let them leave you to me now.
No. No, you're a woman. You wouldn't understand. It's my life.
They're coming. They must have recognized me on the street, or someone informed. I ran, but they're moving down the street.
You'll get out the back way then.
No. It's a cordon. You can't. Not with him that way.
He's the one that's informed. He's the one.
No, Johnny, no, I swear.
Run while you can, Shell.
But
go on.
Oh, I'm sorry, Johnny. Sure, I did my
Agnes,
best.
give me the gun. Shoot him. He's the one. Informer.
No, it's all right. Run while you can, Shell.
You let him go.
Yes.
You let him. And you hold the gun in your hand without shooting. It's the police. They're here.
Lie quiet. It'll be all right. They won't take it. They won't. I love you, darling. I love you.
Then this is how it might have been. The scent of her mouth, soft. But the fight. And what about the fight? They can't beat us. They won't.
Open the door.
Police! Give me the gun. Give me the gun.
No.
I'm the chief. Give me the gun.
Johnny, no.
Give me the gun. Give it to me.
Agnes! We've got him.
Agnes, I love you.
Suspense. Presented by Autolite. Tonight's stars, Mr. James Mason and Miss Pamela Colino.
This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for Autolite, world's largest independent manufacturer of automotive electrical equipment. Autolite is proud to serve the greatest names in the industry. That's why, during the early months of '52, the Autolite family joins together in saluting the leading car manufacturers who install Autolite products as original equipment. Our Autolite family is made up of the nearly 30,000 men and women in 28 great Autolite plants from coast to coast and in still other Autolite plants in many foreign countries. Our family also includes more than 18,000 people who have invested a portion of their savings in Autolite, as well as 96,000 Autolite distributors and dealers in the United States and thousands more in Canada and throughout the world. Our Autolite family will salute the Kaiser Fraser Corporation on the next Autolite Suspense television program. If you live in a television area, check the day and time of Suspense on television so that you'll be sure to see this program. And remember, be with us next week for another thrilling Autolite Suspense program on radio.
Next week on Suspense, our star will be Mr. Richard Widmark in a radio adaptation of Walter Van Tilburg Clark's study in Panic, The Track of the Cat. In weeks to come, we shall also present Miss Barbara Stanwyck and Mr. Herbert Marshall, all on Suspense. Odd Man Out was adapted for Suspense by Anthony Ellis from the book by F.L. Green. Suspense is produced and directed by Elliott Lewis, with music composed by Lucian Morowak and conducted by Lud Gluskin. Featured in the cast were Ben Wright, Dan O'Hurley, William Johnstone, Joseph Kearns, Charles Davis, and Raymond Lawrence.
James Mason may currently be seen in Lady Possessed. This is the CBS Radio Network.